Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Jack and Lily Sullivan case out of Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Three adults were on the property, but their stories about the morning Jack and Lily Sullivan disappeared are colliding. And tonight, we're putting all their words together. 4-year-old Jack Sullivan and his 6-year-old sister, Lily, were reported missing from their Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia home in Pictou County on May 2nd, 2025. More than 15 months later, there is still no confirmed explanation about how the two young children disappeared from their royal property without leaving behind anything except maybe a blanket, but we believe that is planted. Now, their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, has given an interview, and instead of closing the gaps, some of her answers are raising even more questions. We have a lot to talk about tonight on the other side of this.
Daniel, can I come by when the school bell rings? After school, we can hang out where Janie says she keeps that thing. The mystery pool. Daniel showed up with a story to tell, but the details started ringing that bell. One little claim, then another one too. Now everybody's asking, sir, what did you do? Jenny said there's something out back.
Thank you, helicopter.
Came in with a full clap back. We zoomed in close, we looked real cool, but baby, we still can't find that pool.
Where's the pool?
After school, where's the pool? Tell the truth, the whole chat's looking right at you. Janie's pool is hard to find. We've been looking, but we must be blind. Janie's pool is out of sight. Was it ever even there that night?
I don't think it was.
Daniel, what's the rule? Can we swim in Janie's non-existent pool? Everybody wants to know what's going on because the pool is gone. Daniel said this, then Daniel said that. Now the timeline's doing acrobatics. Round and round like a carnival ride. But the truth don't run and the facts don't hide. Janie's talking like she knows the scene, but the backyard's looking pretty clean. No diving board, no floaties, no clue. Just a whole lot of questions and a missing pool. After school. Where's the pool? Tell the truth. Clutch Crime Files is watching you. Janie's pool is hard to find. We've been looking, but we must be blind. Janie's pool is out of sight. Was it ever even there that night? Daniel, what's the rule? Can we swim in Janie's non-existent pool? Everybody wants to know what's going on because the pool is gone.
Where's it at?
1 claim, 2 claims, 3 claims, 4. Every time you talk, we get 10 more. 5 red flags and a mystery too. Still no sign of Janie's pool.
Okay,
Google Earth said, baby, I don't know. The backyard said there ain't no show. The chat said, Justin, zoom in more, but we still can't find what we're looking for. Daniel, can I come by when the school bell rings? After school, we can hang out where Janie says she keeps that thing. The mystery pool. Janie's pool is hard to find. We've been looking, but we must be blind. Janie's pool is out of sight. Was it ever even there that night?
I don't think it was.
Daniel, what's the rule? Can we swim in Janie's non-existent pool? Everybody wants to know what's going on because the pool is gone. After school. Where's the pool? Tell the truth. We still can't find Janie's pool.
Tell us where it is. Janie and Daniel.
I've walked through storms and scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm in a break.
The helicopter. Appreciate you.
You can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a breakable soul, dressed in truth and hope. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and heard, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not doing anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm in a unbreakable soul, through the fire and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my blood.
Thank you, helping me. I appreciate you.
Energy mine, clutch them pearls.
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is August 11th, 2026. It is currently 7. Bonjour. But guys, I just want to tell you, we are having bad storms here. It has been just storming it's been storming nonstop since midnight last night. Just one storm after another. And I do apologize if this internet goes in and out and all that. It is what it is. That's all I can do. Good to see everyone tonight. We're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan case. Of course, Jack and Lilly Sullivan vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. And the parents don't make any sense, and in my opinion, are lying through the crack of their crevices. It's pretty obvious, if you ask me. Good to see everyone in chat. Hello, Miss Joyce. Good to see you, Miss Shari. Good to see you, Lisa. How you doing, Miss Patty Wine? Hello, Tina. Good to see you, my dear. Jeanette. Good to see you, friend. Kellyanne, Tony. Bonjour, Anna Banana. Is Betty in here? Hey, Betty. I see someone say, hey, Betty. Good to see you, Bets. Miss Clippy, Captain, Lolo Ginger, Clippy. Justin has an echo or reverb. I don't know. Papa, can you hear me? I shouldn't. Let me know. Yes, Ginger, all the crevices. Good to see you, Summary. Good to see you, Crazy Buck. How you doing? Hey, Brian. Good to see you. Sounds okay now. It's probably my internet, to be quite honest with you. So yesterday, there was an interview that Malaya did. And, it's her first interview after 15 months of a 4 and 6-year-old child going missing. And, she just says the trauma is too great and she can't remember, or the trauma's too much, right? Usually you don't have that's a weird thing to say, if you ask me. Very weird thing to say. Especially whenever the mom and the dad, like the stepdad, they have the same story. And obviously Malaya's been listening, and she said virtually the same thing in their interview. But usually, like I always say, a mom is a mother bear, a dad is a papa bear, right? The claws come out when you're looking for your children. Our friend DD did a quick video, and I want to kind of talk about that before we get into the nuts and bolts this evening of comparing and contrasting. I saw a lot of you guys talking about that in chat earlier. So guys, make sure you go over to Deception Detective and watch his video. Become a member if you can. Support him. He would, I'm sure, appreciate that. Hit a thumbs up, all that good stuff. It's so nice that he's back. He was gone for quite a while. And before you guys do that, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live stream out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video on YouTube, you get 3 hypes a week. They're absolutely 100% free. And you have to hype the video where the chat section is. After the live stream, there's like a couple dots where you can comment, watch the live stream, because I always have that, so you can watch the replay with other people talking during the live stream for the replay crew, and go on over and it'll show you some points that you have right there. And if you would consider hyping this video, you got to do it on your mobile device, your phone, your tablet, or anything that's mobile, and tell someone about us, right? Tell a friend, tell a coworker, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your brother, your sister. Say, go watch Clutch Them Pearls. Go over there. Go over there. Talk to that little boy that talks true crime and wears too much makeup. Just tell him that. That's all you got to do. Just say, come watch. Okay? Thank you, Anna Banana. Good to see you. Okay. Thank you so much, Helping Hands. Really appreciate the 30 joules, my friend. Good to see you. Hopefully you are well. There's our helicopter grandma. Good to see you, helicopter. How you doing? It's so good to see you, my friend. How is it in Canada right now? How's the weather? Have you guys had like a hot, summer? Has it been rainy? This is the rainiest August and July that I've ever seen where I'm at, I think. Usually my grass is dead. I can't keep up with my grass right now. It's so weird. Thank you so much, Vibes, for the chili. Appreciate you. Verified. Thank you so much for the alert. Really appreciate you, my friend. Good to see you. Pinky, thank you for the finger heart. Appreciate you, love. So good to see you. Thank you very much for your support. And Helicopter Grandma, again, gifting a pearl necklace. Thank you so much, Helicopter. Really appreciate you, my dear. If you received that, make sure you give our Helicopter a big thank you. Donna Smith coming in clutch with the gold coin. Thank you so much, Donna. Appreciate you. Thank you again, Helping Hands, for the clutch. Good to see you guys. Okay, let's get on it. How about that? Oops, I don't know if I have one. Let's see here. He did a really good job on this, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to go to our DD. One of the reasons I really appreciate Deception Detective is he's honest. He's raw. And I really appreciate that in these cases, because so many is, they're more worried about, in my opinion, their sponsors nowadays than they are actually giving the lowdown on it, right? Oh, thank you, Summer Breeze. Thank you so much, love. Oh, thank you, darling. Appreciate you. I live in a small country in Pictou County, and it has been crazy. Tornadoes at the trailer storm last night. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've had tornado warnings. We don't really have tornadoes that much here, but we've been getting them lately. Dee Dee keeps it real. Yeah. Thank you, Helicopter. Appreciate you very much, my dear. Thank you for gifting. Make sure you thank Helicopter if you receive that gifted membership. Appreciate you. Okay. Deception Detective. We call him the Big DD. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Makes no apologies for staying silent. She hasn't talked publicly since the weekend her 2 children, Jack Sullivan, who was 4 at the time, and Lily, who was 6, went missing from their home in Lansdowne, Nova Scotia. She says she was advised by the RCMP not to talk.
I'm so glad Dee Dee rewound that little part right there. Very glad that is, I don't remember what he's going to say on here, but like I said yesterday when we were reviewing this, it is classic 101. Just like these parents or someone who doesn't want to take accountability, they'll say that they were asleep, right? Which puts them kind of out of commission. And it's like, well, I can't be involved. If you're going to be home, well, you say, well, you're going to be asleep, because again, they don't want to take accountability. Thank you so much, Brookie Cookie. How you been, girl? Good to see you. There's your little Papillon. Thank you so much. Thank you for keeping it. Thank you so much, my dear. Really appreciate you very much, my dear. Really good to see you. Thank you for the support. Yeah, a lot of people aren't talking about Jack and Lily anymore, but we're just not giving up. Thank you, Pat, for the sunshine. Appreciate you, babe. Good to see you. All right, let's see.
That's just one of many lies in this brand new interview, so let's watch it together and count the rest. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation, so if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For early access to new videos and over 80 exclusive videos.
Dee Dee and I, we're kind of looking like twins the way we're dressed today. How about that?
Consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. If the names Malaya Brooks Murray, Lily, and Jack Sullivan or Daniel Martel don't ring a bell, don't worry, this interview will bring you up to speed. So there's just one last thing I want to clarify before we dive in. Ever since her kids disappeared 15 months ago, Malaya has always claimed that she went into hiding because the RCMP told her that speaking out would jeopardize the case.
I just did whatever they told me to do.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to jeopardize the case in any way.
Yeah, she didn't want to jeopardize the case. Yeah. Tell me who? How would it jeopardize? People are just, it's the cute thing to say. It's just the cute thing to say. You're going to jeopardize the case because you speak out on YouTube, or you speak out as a parent on your missing not only child but children's case. In this case, what does Malaya keeping her children story in the light, how would that jeopardize her children's case? Does anyone actually believe that? Come on now. That's complete bullshit. You do better, Malaya. Do better for your Jack and Lily, your children.
First of all, that just isn't true, as you can see in the clarification they put out last year on your screen. And second of all, if it were true, that's even worse. It means that...
What does DDC there? I think I'm going to read this in just a second, but I do remember them saying that the mother has declined to speak. Relatives in the Brooke Murray have told CBC News that she has been advised by police not to speak by the media. They did say, oh, that's right. Now I know where this is going. I know, because that was the story. Hey, Suzuki, good to see you, hon. That was the story that they said originally, right? And the news came out and said, well, we asked the RCMP, and they didn't say that. They said, be mindful of what you say, right? Which, listen, RCMP is not going to tell Daniel and Malaya, Janie, anybody else any more than they're going to tell us. Right now, Daniel, Malaya, Janie, and them might know what happened, but what the RCMP tells them is going to be very limited. You know, it's kind of like a cat and mouse kind of thing. The RCMP and law enforcement is to gather information, right? Not necessarily tell it until a prosecutor takes it to court, right?
Malaya decided to jeopardize the investigation by doing this interview.
Oh, well, I forgot to finish reading this part. In a statement, the Mounties said anyone can decide to speak with media and share information as they wish, but investigators advised loved ones and people who were interviewed to be mindful of the information they share publicly. Again, it's just another lie, Malaya said. Why would you lie about this, right? Malaya wants to seem like the good little gal, the good little, mother that, left the day after her kids went missing. Come on now. Thank you, Sue, for the jammin', darling. Appreciate you. Good to see you, Miss Sue. Thank you very much. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you. Always. Carrie, everyone. Ariel, good to see you.
To put it bluntly, I think Malaya is contradicting the RCMP and herself because she's just a bad liar. And there's plenty more examples of it coming up. So let's get into it.
Thank you for doing this. Malaya, it's been more than 15 months since you've seen Jack and Lily. How are you doing? Not good. How do you spend your days?
Basking on the beach.
One day at a time.
That's how she spends her days, basking on the beach and drinking in the woods, in my opinion.
Surrounded by family and friends and support systems.
Surrounded by family and friends on the beach and drinking in the woods, in my opinion.
A lot of
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate you.
I see my daughter. We always plan everything that we can to.
It's been over like 15. It's been about 15 months since Meadow has been gone in CPS custody. I'm wondering, is how long is this going to go on? You know what I mean? Is this going to go on until there's a resolution in Jack and Lily's case? Is she going to get Meadow back? Don't know. Hey, Donna, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very, very much for the gold coin. Appreciate you, love.
Keep my mind busy.
How are you doing? How do you spend your days? Those are known as phatic questions, and they're not meant to be answered literally. They're meant to hand over narrative control to the interviewee to talk about whatever they think is important. If you've seen any of my videos analyzing innocent parents, you'll know that they typically use the airtime to accomplish 7 things, like asking for help, pleading with any potential kidnappers, and generally trying to find their missing kid. Meanwhile, hoaxers use the airtime for other purposes. Some of them use it to push red herring theories, some of them use it to tell sob stories to garner sympathy for themselves, and still others, the really unconfident bad liars, are just trying to run out the clock to survive the interview without revealing anything incriminating. And I think that's what's going on here, because Malaya answered both questions seemingly honestly. How are you doing? Not well. What do you spend your days doing? Taking care of myself. But she didn't use the questions to segue into finding her missing kids. Indeed,
Bingo.
I would have expected an average.
Bingo, right? There was none of that. None of that yesterday. We spoke about that. There was nothing about Malaya saying how she was going to find Jack and Lily, that she wasn't going to stop until she found Jack and Lily. Jack and Lily, we are coming for you. We know, I believe that you're still here. You're still alive. None of that. None of it. And you wonder why, right? She made it about her. What are you doing with your time? I'm spending it with family and friends and therapy and all of that. And kumbaya, good for you. But what about Jack and Lily? That's the whole reason we're here talking about this interview. Hey, Miss Dolores, appreciate you. Love you too, Miss Dolores. Good to see you. Really appreciate you, love. She looks pale and sickly, like she hasn't seen the sun in years. Apparently she wears sunscreen on the beach, right? Hey, damn, good to see my friend. Thank you for the Uncle Alert, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you. Very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's all of it. She makes it all about her, though. All about her. And you'll notice with Malaya, even though she, like I said, she doesn't watch me, and neither does Daniel. But she may change this up maybe in her next interview or whatever. But there is no means to an end when she is talking about this. It seems like what has ever happened to Jack and Lily has been finalized, right? There's no urgency to find Jack and Lily. It's just like, well, I'm in therapy. I'm spending time around family and friends, almost like there's been deaths, right? Not that they're, if Malaya, like she claimed, she thinks that, she says, I think that they're together and they're being well cared for, and she says in this interview. Well, if you believe that they are together and that they're alive and well and being cared for in the world, then shouldn't you be relentlessly, nonstop searching, doing everything you can? But it's like, I'm in therapy and I'm surrounding myself by family and friends. Okay. Hey, Annabelle, thank you so much, dear. Appreciate you for the floating heart. Good to see, babe. MBM is wearing soft pink to try to give off an air of innocence. We're not fooled. Not a bit. Hey, Deb.
Average liar to at least say I spend my days looking for my kids just to look like they actually care. In other words, to put it really bluntly, I don't think Malaya is a good or confident liar, which is why she was silent for so long and why she's so reticent in this interview. It's never a good sign when getting a statement from a supposed victim is like pulling teeth. All right, let's keep going.
And I know we've heard others talk about Jack and Lily and they've described them, but you spent the most time with them. What can you tell me about Jack and Lily?
Lily is a very bubbly little girl who always smiles and loves to pose for photos.
Exactly.
She loves unicorns and LOL dolls. And
nothing new.
To dress up girly. She loves dresses. Just like
I do.
Me when I was younger, I was always wearing dresses. She always loved to pick out her outfits, and I would bring her some and she would pick them out. Jack loves bugs. He loves playing outside, digging for things. Anytime he got a new dinosaur, he was always excited, and loves those Dino Smashers. Those were his favorite. They were both always...
All past tense, right? Was. they was. I don't understand a mama with 2 babies missing doesn't completely fall apart during this interview. Not a single tear ran down her face. I wouldn't be able to get a sentence out. I mean, she did look upset at times, but yeah, I didn't see any real tears. Yeah.
So happy.
And how were they with each other?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and buy some more stuffies and all that, right, for them. That helps find them, right?
They loved each other. They hugged each other.
Hugged.
They would say sorry to each other.
Would.
Sometimes they would get in fights with.
Right. Not that Jack and Lily, they say sorry to each other. That they would. Like they're not here anymore.
Each other, but they would always make up.
Would.
What do you miss the most about them?
Everything. Their laughter, their smile, their hugs, their smell. I think it's just when you're a mom, your children have a particular scent that you never forget. And it's just something that you know.
Is it good that Malaya is talking about Lily and Jack in present tense? Yes, it's a really bad sign when the parents of missing children speak about them in past tense ever.
I think she's speaking in past tense a lot of things.
But that doesn't mean she thinks they're alive. In fact, I think she's trying so hard not to slip up and talk about them in past tense that she's barely answering the question in the way that I would expect the parent of a missing child to do so. Remember, the entire point of going on TV, if you're whether it's getting the police to care enough to redouble their efforts, or getting the public to care enough to call in with even the slightest tip, or getting any kidnappers who may have taken them to change their mind and send them home to mommy. There's infinite ways to do this, to tug on people's heartstrings. But let me show you an example of a mother of a missing child talking about her kid, and I won't tell you.
This is Desiree. This is the mother of Kyron Horman. And I think her and Brandy are probably the most 2 relentless mothers that has truly never stopped. Kyron has been missing, I think, 15 plus years now, maybe even longer. She still does car washes. Oh, it makes me want to cry. She still does car washes to pay for PIs and stuff, private investigators, constantly. And in my opinion, in Kyron's case, it's like we know, in my opinion, exactly who did this to Kyron as well. But again, she does not stop. And in Kyron's case, in my opinion, it was someone like a stepmother in Kyron's case. Thank you, Summer Breeze. Appreciate you, love. Very sweet of you. Thank you very much for the support. Really appreciate you, Summer Breeze. Makes me feel love you, darling.
How long he's been missing. I'll tell you after the clip. Listen to this and compare it to what we just heard from Malaya.
My son is Kyron Horman. As she said, he went missing June 4th, 2010 from Skyline Elementary School in Portland, Oregon. In a group, Kyron is the smallest in stature, but he's the brightest. You may not notice it because he's also the quietest. My son has a smile that lights up the room. You can't help but laugh when he laughs. He has this belly laugh that's infectious. He's a shy kid and is in his comfort zone when he's around his family and friends. He loves to play with his cousin and build Legos. He enjoys playing on his Wii. Skylanders is one of his most favorite games to play with his brother Quinn. The 2 of them have this thing that they do where they sit quiet and stare at each other. And Kyron is always the first to laugh every time. It's so much fun to watch them together.
Hopefully you get my point. Actual parents of missing children like Desiree Young, the mother of missing Kyron Horman, who was missing for 7 years at the time of that speech, aren't just going through the motions. They're doing everything they can to cajole the audience into caring about their kid enough.
Yes. Doing everything to not only for they want everyone to care about their kid, to keep that child in their memory. I don't know how long Kyron's. It's been 15 years anyways. It's been a minute. Oh, thank you, Ms. Belinda. Appreciate going out. Thank you so much, Ms. Belinda. Thank you. Being wonky. Thank you so much, Miss Belinda. Appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't glitch out right there. Where is stepmom Terry now? Notice she still talks in present. Last time I heard, Terry was in California. I do think there will be an arrest eventually in this case, and there's been some big things happen in Kyron's case in the last year or so, especially since AI has really helped out, and it's going to continue to help out in a lot of these missing kids and individuals cases as well. I can look. When did Kyron who has PNW missing, I think it's missing true crime. She knows Desiree very well because Kyron went missing in Oregon and Portland, Oregon, this little country school. It's been June 4th, 2010. 2010, yeah. So right there. That was a big case back then. The last set mom bought me from Lulu, and yeah, it was horrible. My daughter was fine when she was safe with the bus driver. It's, you know, your stomach goes right through the floor, right? AI has really helped in Kyron's case because there was so much paperwork and evidence and all that it can get a little bit overwhelming, especially in these cold cases, and it can really organize the facts. Mayflower, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you for the flower. Good to see you, love. Thank you so much.
To help. They're also sharing detailed, relevant information that might help people jog their memories about whether or not they saw their kid or might know something. And they're also specifically asking for help. It's the entire point of doing the TV interview in the first place. There's still plenty left in this interview, so if you want a part 2, let me know by liking, commenting, and hyping. Until next time, stay true.
Thank you for that, DD. Tom, where did you hear that at? Why would Cody whisper in Lily's ear, "I may not ever see you again"? Seems suspicious to me, just saying. You know something? I don't know where you heard that. But what I will say, Tom, which you're absolutely entitled to your opinion, but he could say that 20 times and I would still be more hesitant to be looking the people that was in the same bed together that can't come up with the actual similar story, right? Baby Monkey, good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Absolutely, that as well. Absolutely, Captain. I just reading that comment, I was wondering the same thing. Yeah. Justin Belinda said that. Cody did say that, but not meaning anything like that. Yeah. It to me, like I said, he could say that 15 times and it wouldn't change anything with me. Wouldn't change anything with me at all. Okay. So we're going to look at some things here that Miss Malaya said yesterday. And we're going to compare them with some things that I didn't show you guys these pictures. Let me show you these pictures real quick. Miss Brooks Murray has hung on to her children's things. Among them are small runners with Lily S written on the side and a white worn stuffed unicorn. And that was the bench. That's a very cute bench, in my opinion. But she says her bedroom is full of children's missed milestones, Easter baskets, Valentine's, Christmas, and birthday gifts for them, quote, to open when they get home, end quote. Quote, and I continue to get more because it's what helps me cope, Miss Malaya says. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you. How you doing? Just thought I would bring it up to you. Yeah. It that means zilch to me. That means zilch to me. Okay. I want to go over something Daniel stated on our friend Char's True Crime Story podcast. And then I want to show you something Malaya said and in these documents and some other interviews here. Let's listen. This was recorded or live 3 months ago on May 2nd, 2026 on the anniversary of Jack and Lily.
And
1 year.
Because when I scream, I can scream extremely loud. So, and there was no reason not to scream as loud as you can. Like my throat literally hurt for, the first few days of the search because I was just screaming so much. And so that's what triggered Mom to get up, was she heard me screaming at the top of my lungs for Lily and Jack.
That's not what made her get up. She, remember, again, these people can't even agree on the same thing that they say that they were all there that day, right? Well, Daniel, get your story finally straight after 15 months. Your mother said she heard you screaming for Jack and Lily, and she just thought you were asking for them to get inside or that they might be in the chicken coop or whatever. That is not what got her to go outside, right? After she heard you screaming for Jack and Lily, she didn't really think anything of it, she says. So she kind of dozes back off in her camper, and she's, sleeps a couple, 10 more minutes or so. And then she just randomly pops up, goes outside, and she sees Malaya standing out in the driveway area where she was raking the night before. And that's when she says, "Hey, Malaya, what's up?" Malaya says, "Jack and Lily are missing." Well, how long? 20 minutes, right? So that's not. Now, Daniel has always kept that narrative, right? But that is not what Janie says. You could write on one of those change the ending novels with this crap. Yeah.
Malaya was still standing in the same spot on the dispatch call.
Now listen to that. I was thinking about that. Malaya was still standing in the same spot with the dispatch call. Meaning when she's on the phone with 911. Now, the way Daniel and Janie make it seem like that Malaya is outside at this time. But then he says right here, Malaya is in the same spot with the dispatch call. Listen to that again.
To get up was she heard me screaming at the top of my lungs for Lily and Jack. Malaya was still standing in the same spot on the dispatch call.
What is he even talking about? Hey, Chelsea, Belinda, good to see you, honeys. Kelly, thank you so much, my dear, for the clutch, my dear. Really appreciate you. You don't clear up an inconsistent by repeating one side of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't know if anybody else noticed this right here, because you can just rehear things. I've heard things in Summer's case 5 years later, and I'm like, oh my God, what does he mean? Well, I know the 911 call, right? But the thing is, they can't even agree on where the 911 call happened, right? Was it outside? Daniel says, Janie comes out, talks to Malaya, whatever. Malaya's, Daniel runs up the hill to where the little forts are, where the cabins are. And when he's running back down the hill, he says Malaya is still on the phone, which is weird because Malaya says she was in the corner of the trailer and had to turn the Wi-Fi off to get a signal. Now Daniel's saying here that she was in the same spot when she was, talking to the dispatch person at the 911 call. So again, I don't think any of this happened at all that morning. Nothing like this. And I think they're all covering their asses.
And in the same spot on the dispatch call. And so I ran by Malaya, ran at the house. I said, I'm going to go jump in the car.
Okay. There we go again. Daniel just said, I ran by Malaya and ran in the house. Okay. Well, if Malaya is outside talking, still in the same spot, talking to dispatch or 911, Daniel runs by her, runs inside. Malaya can't be in the corner like she told the RCMP, stuck in a corner where she can, where the only place she can get service. Again, they can't even agree on such a simple thing of where the hell and what the hell was happening when they're all supposedly, like I always say, Daniel and Malaya claim to be in the same bed together, and they can't even agree on who saw Lily, right? Who was asleep, who was awake. Can't even agree on that. So you think I'm going to believe either one of them? Hell no.
And ran by Malaya, ran at the house. I said, I'm going to go jump in the car.
So I ran. Hold on.
So I ran by Malaya,
I ran by
the
Malaya.
House. I said, I'm going to go jump in the car.
And I said, I'm going to go jump in the car.
And go get the keys. I got the keys, ran in the house.
Now, this is interesting, the way he says right here. Because he already says he went in the house, right? He says he ran by Malaya and went in the house to get the keys, right? But then he says this.
Go get the keys. I got the keys, ran in the house.
He says, I got the keys and then ran in the house. I got the keys and then ran in the house. But that's what I thought you were running in the house for when you just made the statement a second ago. You said, I ran by Malaya, ran in the house to get the keys. And then you say in the next sentence, I get the keys and then I run in the house.
Got the keys, tried to go out through the front door, and I seen that. No, originally I tried to come in through the front door, and it was still, had like the wrench or whatever that was jammed in the outside porch door.
How are you, like, it's not that complicated, right? Like, you know your exact path whenever something like this is going on. You ran by Malaya, you ran and got the keys. You know which door you first went in and the one you're trying to get out of. No. I ran into the front door. No, I was trying to get out the front door. He doesn't even know. He's told so many freaking lies. He doesn't even know.
So I couldn't get in through the front. So then I ran all the way through the back, past the fence, went up into the house on the end table, grabbed the keys, and then I came out through the front door.
Again, he's done talked about getting these keys three different ways. First, he ran past Malaya, and then he says he goes into the trailer, and then he says he goes through the back door to get the keys on like the counter or the end table or whatever. And then he says, no, I ran through the front door and it was locked. So I run around to the back door to get the keys in the house. Doesn't even know that. Then DM, if you knew there was a wrench there, why would you go through the front door? Right. Why didn't you use the patio door? You know that one is silent. Yeah. Sure does. What's the point of a wrench in the door that's made half of glass? LOL, a bear would shatter that. Yeah. I don't think it was for bears. I think it was to keep people locked in. Right? And everyone knows you need a key to the car. So why even talk about it? Of course. Because he's got to make sure it's locked up there for him.
Got in the car, and then I proceeded to drive all the way up to Lansdowne Road. And so I entered Lansdowne Road at like 10:05 or 10:06, right?
So he enters Lansdowne Road at 10:05 or 10:06. Okay, so that would be either 4 to 5 minutes after Malaya first dialed 911. So Malaya, what does he say right here? All the way up to Lansdowne Road. And so I entered Lansdowne Road at 10:05 or 10:06. So that's very specific, right? Either RCMP has told him that he was there at 10:05 or 10:06, or he was, looking on the clock while he was there at Lansdowne, or he's just flat ass out lying. One or the other. So it's very specific. So he would have had, ooh. Can y'all hear that? It's so bad here. Like, the thunder was so loud, it just shook everything. Exactly. Front door, back door, keys before, keys after, which version? Yeah, he has no idea.
At like 10:05 or 10:06, right?
Right.
I already went over all this with investigators, so they know the whole timeline on my venture here. And so I entered Lansdowne Road at 10:00.
Yeah, his venture. Yeah, looking for your stepchildren is his adventure, or adventure, as he says it. That's his venture.
5 or 10:06, and then I proceeded to drive up Lansdowne Road all the way out to the tracks. I drove like 10 or 15 kilometers an hour, just swaying my head back and forth. And one thing I didn't notice, Romaine, the blanket wasn't in the tree at that time.
You want to tell that, don't you, Daniel?
So it was planted after approximately 10:08, maybe.
Oh.
10:09.
You know something? He says here that the blanket was planted. He is virtually admitting it. Right? And listen, we don't know that this blanket 100% has been planted, do we, Daniel? Do we? Do we know it's 100% been planted? I mean, the RCMP, remember, they wouldn't even talk about the blanket for such a long time. And it's a lot of our opinions that this blanket has been planted. But here, you say it as, yeah, it's been planted. Just listen to that again.
Notice from me, the blanket wasn't in the tree at that time. So it was planted after approximately 10:08, maybe.
It was planted after maybe 10:08, maybe. 10:08, that's very specific, right? Because people who don't know when something is planted, they generally don't say, they'll usually round something off, right? So it had to be there after 10:10 or 10:15 or 10:20. They won't say that it had to be planted after 10:08. It's very specific, right? Too specific. Yeah. Yeah. Very creepy. Very creepy. Yeah. So, like I said, just keep digging, Daniel. Just keep doing it, buddy. You're doing a good job, Daniel.
10:09, when I would have drove past where the blanket is at the bottom of that dirt road. So at 10:09 or 10:08, the blanket wasn't in the tree. I drove all the way out to the railroad tracks. People can look at this on the map on Lansdowne Road. And then I circled around at a U-turn, came all the way back to Gairloch Road, proceeded.
Very good point, Deborah. Very good point. He remembers all that, specific 10:08, 10:09, 10:04, 10:05 when he was out there. But again, he just has the damnedest trouble remembering from about 8 p.m. on Thursday evening, Thursday night, till Jack and Lily, they say, go missing, right? Can't remember a damn thing. Everything else he can remember. Like I say, he can remember the exact minute he pulls up with Malaya, Jack and Lily, and all of that. He can remember before he's in the house, can't remember a damn thing else after that. Thank you, Miss Sarah. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much for the gold coin. Appreciate you, love. Oh, you have a little chocolate cocker spaniel. Oh, they're sweet. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah. His times are stupidity. Yeah. I mean, is it possible she could have planted the blanket while Daniel spazzing around? She's quite drawn to throw it in the tree. Is it possible? Yeah. But Malaya, you got to remember, someone had the baby. Someone had the baby. I don't think she would give Janie the baby. I think she was home, and we know that after 1 a.m. till about, I can't remember if it's 4:30 or 5:30 that morning, Daniel's vehicle's going in and out of the home. Right? Remember, Malaya, when they say Jack and Lily went missing, she's just standing there, because she's got Meadow with her. She's not even looking for Jack and Lily when they first went missing. Now she's talking 15 months later.
Get down Gairloch Road, went up Lansdowne Station Road, past good old Bradley Wong's, and went all the way out to the McLeod Road, came all the way back down Gairloch Road. But on the way, I stopped at every bridge and culvert and jumped out and looked inside. Because
every bridge,
I thought the kids might be playing in the water, because kids.
Now remember, he couldn't, you got to remember, he's saying at 10:05 he's at Lansdowne Station, and he does all of these roads and looks at all of these places, stops at all the bridges, all the culverts, to look and see if Jack and Lily are playing in the water, as he says. Well, if he's at Lansdowne at 10:06, 10:05, 10:06, as he says, well, he's got to be back by what, 10:21? 10:21. So how do you go up all of these roads and down all of these roads, past Bradley Wong, Daniel? How do you check all of these culverts and bridges, looking for Jack and Lily in and about 12 minutes? I'll wait. No way. Notice that there wasn't a blanket, as you say, planted there, yet as well, right? So there's that. Yep, he did not have his phone. Yeah. Didn't have his phone, right? But he would have, maybe he was looking on the dash of his vehicle, right? All of these certain times. Oh, look, there's not a blanket in that tree. I better look at the clock. Right? Oh, I'm going to look in this culvert. I better look at the time right now. A specific time, right? Oh, Lizzie, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much, love. Appreciate you. Thank you for the cheers. Appreciate that, dear. Really do. Thank you so much. Good to see you, my friend. You remember 10:05, the roads, the bridges, the culverts, and not the basic sequence inside the house. Correct. Why was the ATV behind her so creepy, in my opinion? Yeah, I said that yesterday. I was like, They had to do that on purpose because it looked like it was almost staged to sit there beside the building. It was real clean and all that as well. Thank you, Hope Floats. Appreciate you, love. Appreciate you for the floating heart. Appreciate you, love. In front of the helicopter and running through the water waist high. Yep. Yeah, because there's only one culvert near their house. But he searched all of them, as he says. Right. Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate you, dear. Good to see you. Thank you for the silver star.
Always take the path of least resistance. So that
Daniel was listening to me on this again, even though he doesn't watch me or anybody on YouTube. You know, he just doesn't have time, as you know, he says. But I have done entire live streams that children do take the path of least resistance. They don't climb a mountain, especially a 4 and a 6-year-old, because you know they want to conquer the mountain or anything. They truly travel the path of least resistance. That's why they usually are at the lowest point of elevation, whether it's around a creek, a body of water, or whatever. Justin was that the car he had crushed when he was vrooming around. Well, very possible. You know, he's leaving out a whole story here. He's leaving out a whole story here. One that naturally he doesn't want to talk about. But Daniel, why don't you talk about, you know, that night when you got stuck on that logging trail? Why don't you talk about that? I think that would be far more interesting. Just my opinion.
They're always going to stay on a road or a path. They're not going to just travel straight through the woods where it's hard, right? Because the structure and anatomy of their limbs, they're required to take the path of least resistance, meaning that they have to walk where there's a trail because they can't overcome branches and logs and stuff like that. They have to do what an animal does. They save the most energy they can, and it's natural to do that, to stay on a path. So I thought they would just go.
Well, Daniel, how far could they have gotten in 10 minutes? How far could they have gotten in 10 minutes? Sam, why are you not on your regular screen name?
On the roads. That's why I did that. Came down Gairloch Road. Sorry for that little bit of an explanation, but I want to get that out of the way there. Came down Gairloch Road, arrived at the house, and the RCMP were at the very end of the driveway. They were in the driveway, so I couldn't park there. I didn't want to block them in, and we didn't want to block law enforcement in. So I drove to the other side of the marsh. People look at the map. Yes. On the other side of the marsh, there's a little driveway thing. So I parked there.
Now, it's interesting because it's from what Belinda was saying, that they were really kind of focusing on the other side of the house, like where the creeks and stuff was around, you know, in the very beginning. Not so much behind the house. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the sunshine. We could use some sunshine here today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Right. Need to get it off your chest, Daniel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
And I got out of the car. I was going to proceed to keep searching into the woods around the area. But law enforcement yelled to me and they said, Daniel, don't go back into the woods just yet. So
again, like I've always said, first of all, how do they know his name as soon as he gets there? Daniel, don't go back into the woods right now. How do they know your name? Second of all, how did they know you were in the woods? And third of all, you didn't say you were in the woods at all, Daniel, here. You never said you was in the woods here. You said you were on the roads. The roads and the trails. You never said about you going into the woods, Daniel, which I find very interesting as well. you were checking culverts, right? You were checking the little creeks and stuff. But you don't mention anything about you going in the woods here. RCMP also do not have their name on their back. Correct. Yeah. McLeyer. Yeah.
I walked over to the house, and this would have been, it took law enforcement 21 minutes to arrive on scene.
That's right.
And so I'm guessing by the time I got there, it would have been 10:22 maybe.
Now, remember, we've got 10:06 that he's on Lansdowne Road, right? And we've got 10:22. He is back, parked, and saying, Daniel, don't go back in the woods, right? So that is 15 minutes, right? What do you say? 10:06, 10:16. Yeah, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. He did all of this in 15 minutes. Running up, to water with this, checking the drains, all of these roads, noticing the blanket not planted yet. Come on, Daniel. You're embarrassing yourself. Miss Sarah, thank you so much, babe, for the gold coin again. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This case is so bizarre. 2 children still missing. Yeah, always praying for these babies, but I don't have much hope of this being solved. I think it'll be solved. I do.
So
I think people will be in jail.
Because they were just walking down and starting to gather around Malaya. So I came over to the house, and I didn't want to, overstep my bounds because Malaya was telling them what was going on and stuff. So I didn't want to interject with.
So this is Daniel speak for I avoided the RCMP like the plague. Remember, Daniel, the first couple days is avoiding the RCMP as much as possible. So he's like, I got there, I just wanted them to let Malaya deal with this, right? She was talking to them, all of that. They didn't want you to go back in the woods, Daniel, but you weaseled your little ass back in there, didn't you?
With that, so I came down. I was talking to Mom.
Talking to Mommy.
They told me not to go back into the woods.
But you did.
And so I was down there for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then a guy dressed in military gear. He could have been military gear or the uniform of a dog handler, because
now that, to me, that's a big difference, isn't it? I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this one, but to me, that's 2 different things. Dressed like a dog handler and dressed like the military. Am I wrong on that one, guys? So was he dressed like a dog handler, or was he dressed like the military? Which one was it? Well, Bubbly Beth, that's a good question, right? And if you want to know my guess on it, it was hours prior in the early. Ooh, it's so bad outside. I know that was gonna be a big crack of thunder. Malaya got mad because she could be a total hallucinations, in my opinion.
They both use very similar dark military green. It said Oliver on his back. And that guy told me, he said, Daniel, you're free to go back into the woods. So I jumped the back fence and I continued to search behind the house. I don't know if many people know that story, but it's out there and open now. Not a lot of people, believe me when I said, like, I searched the roads and everything beforehand. They thought I was gone.
Daniel, nobody believes you, but listen to this right here. Listen to this.
Out there and open now. Not a lot of people, believe me when I said, like, I searched the roads and everything beforehand. They thought I was gone for hours and I took the kids away. That's completely false.
Now, I find that very interesting, right? I find that very interesting because you're the one, Daniel, that said and I've got you quoted on that, saying you had searched for hours and hours that morning. And you say you searched 20 or 30 acres on the ATV as well. But what's more interesting to me is he says that I searched for hours and hours and I took the kids away. Well, who said right here that you took the kids away? Why are you trying to get ahead of that, Daniel? Do you hear what he said? That is very creepy. That brings chills up my spine, actually. That I took the kids away. Listen to that again.
When I said, like, not a lot of people, believe me when I said, like, I searched the roads and everything beforehand. They thought I was gone for hours and I took the kids away. That's completely false.
So a few things on that, right? He wants you to know that a lot of people doesn't believe him, but you should believe him, right? And that that he had searched hours and hours beforehand, right? Maybe 1 o'clock in the morning to, 5 o'clock in the morning. And that he didn't take the kids away during that time. He tells on himself. Tasha, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's really bad. Really bad. I about fell out when I was re-listening to that.
Believe me when I said, like, I searched the roads and everything beforehand. They thought I was gone for hours.
Well, because you was, Daniel. Like I said, not only you place you up at a little after midnight, right? You place Malaya allegedly making call at 11. Malaya tells people privately that she wakes up at midnight and you're in the bathroom smoking the meth, right? And a little after midnight, you say that you check on Jack and Lily, you turn the lights on, and then about 1 o'clock in the morning is the first time the neighbors hear you firing up the car. Brad and Justin, 2 people in the house, is saying y'all are up at midnight. 2 people outside of the house are saying you're up at after midnight. 2 people in the house saying y'all are up, 2 people outside saying you're up. That's 4 different individuals. Three hours at least, in my opinion, he was gone. Oh, yeah. Yep. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. And where is my Fulton? Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. In Malia's interview, she says she was sleeping in the same bed when they got up and therefore she couldn't have done anything of the kids. But why answer it like that? There's never any blatant no. No, there's not. There's not. And that's precisely why I've always said I don't believe either one of them. You couldn't, I mean, anybody with a brain could not believe either one of them, right? If you were in the same bed together, well, Daniel says he talked to Lily and saw Lily. Malaya says, no, Daniel was asleep. She saw Lily. Daniel says, no, Malaya was asleep. He did. You just can't even, it's crazy. What was Malaya doing while Daniel was gone? Good question. Good question. Thank you, Butterflies. Appreciate you, my dear. Hey, Share Cares. Good to see you, love. Probably.
And I took the kids away. That's completely false.
I took the kids away.
I was only gone for, 17 minutes or something or of that nature.
I was only gone, 17 minutes or something? Or of that nature. You was definitely in nature, weren't you, Daniel?
Just enough to do those dirt roads and then make my way back.
Just enough to do those dirt roads. Just enough to do those dirt roads. You mean the logging trail, Daniel, that you got stuck on, right? But you're saying it happened that morning, or saying it happened after 1 a.m. You know it. I know it. Other people know it. RCMP certainly knows it. Malaya knows it. Janie knows it. You couldn't have done all that. Don't forget, you went up behind the house, also spoke to your mother too, right? And said, Mom, do you want to go with me? And your mom said, no, I'm going to continue looking in this area.
Yeah, people were, we heard at the beginning that you were gone all day searching, and people surmised that you were hiding from law enforcement.
You were.
And then when you got back from searching all of the culverts and all that, you weren't soaking wet, because we were all there to see what your condition was when you got back. But I mean, it's out there. People are speculating on it. So thank you for going over that again.
I arrived home from that initial search in the car at 10:22 or something like that, or 10:23. The RCMP was just still walking down to Malaya, so I wasn't gone for that long, and that was just enough time to search all the closest roads, right, and look at the bridges and culverts, because I really
notice that there isn't a blanket planted yet, right? That there isn't a blanket planted yet. You wouldn't even be remember Daniel said he hadn't been around that blanket or anything, right? Think about it as Daniel's driving by, right? No blanket planted yet. Keep driving. Come on, Daniel.
Jack, we're always attracted to water. I mean, as most kids are, right? It's fun to throw rocks in water and stuff as a kid.
Yeah, now he wants to talk about Jack was attracted to water. I'm going to come right back to this in just a second. But I just want you to remember this. And he liked to throw rocks in the water, right? Daniel's telling us.
We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day, we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can, just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist.
Right. Well, you did that the first day, right? Just running in water up to your waist, all of that. First day, Daniel. Which is quite interesting to me. You're running from that helicopter and all that. Now,
So now,
let me find this.
so now, the eye's not on me. The investigator.
There we go again. The eye is not on me.
But then I.
Why does Daniel Martel? 1 second.
A long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanted to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point.
Let me find the different interview. It's not this one. Wait, it is that one, but I need it without the damn music on there. Let me find that 1 second.
Kid, so and when I take Jack and Lily fishing, they would usually just do that, go to the water and throw rocks in it. So.
Right.
It's interesting how he's talking about, Jack is attracted to water, and then he says, when I take them fishing, which we know Daniel loves to fish, and he says when he took them fishing, they would always throw rocks in the water. Makes me wonder.
And just one more thing about that morning. Well, I'm sure there are other questions from other people, but myself, after talking to Janie, after talking to your mom, I had asked her at what point did she inform Malaya or you that she had just heard the kids outside playing, and your mom said she doesn't think she did. Do you know when did you just heard the kids out? Did she inform Malaya or you that she had just heard the kids outside playing? And
so this was one of the points I initially brought up, right? Whenever Janie comes outside to see, Malaya just outside standing in the yard and just says, "Hey, Malaya, what's up?" And that's when Malaya says, "Jack and Lily are missing." And then Janie says, "Well, how long?" Malaya says, 20 minutes. And I've always said, well, if I had just heard kids in 10 feet, 15 feet from my home or my trailer or my camper, and I walk outside and you say that they're missing 10 minutes later, the first thing it's going to be is I'm not just going to accept that. I'm not just going to say, "Oh, okay. Well, how long have they been missing?" I'm going to say, it's going to be very confusing. That's the first thing you're going to think. What the hell do you mean they're missing? I was just laying on the couch and I heard Jack and Lily playing on the swing, and then I just heard Daniel yell a few minutes ago, and I just thought he was getting the kids. But that never happened. Just like he didn't, Malaya and Daniel didn't go to Janie's when they are outside looking for Jack and Lily. After I search that yard, before I go anywhere else, after I search that yard, the first thing I'm going to do is go to Janie's and say, "We cannot find the kids. Have you seen the kids? Are they in here? Have you heard them? Seen them? Have you seen anything odd?" None of that.
Your mom said she doesn't think she did. Do you know, when did you learn that your mom had heard the kids not too terribly long before you guys realized they were missing?
I don't recall when Mom actually told me. That's a very good point. I never thought of that. I've never been asked that question. That's a really good question, and unfortunately, I don't have an answer for the exact time that she told me. And that's probably the only question I can't answer. I don't recall on that. And I'm sorry to your viewers that I can't recall that.
Don't be sorry to the viewers. Be sorry to Jack and
I
Lily.
don't remember.
It's understandable. It's been a year, but to me, and I'm just trying to like imagine it like a normal conversation, right? So your mom comes out, asks Malaya, what's up? Malaya says, kids are missing. How long? 20 minutes. For me, I would think the first response would be, what do you mean they're missing? I just heard them outside, but that didn't happen. So I was just wondering, because then
maybe that conversation did happen. I'm not sure, because I'm not
it didn't
mom
happen.
or Malaya. And at that point when mom came out,
stop adding stuff and stop subtracting stuff. It didn't happen. Oh, hey Malaya, what's up? The kids are missing. How long? 20 minutes. So I go in and I get my shoes on, right? My boots on, and my coat on, and I conveniently leave my phone. And so I go up to the cabins where Daniel just literally came down the hill from. And then I go search behind the house. It didn't happen, Daniel. You make yourself look even more like a buffoon when you say shit like that.
I wasn't
Try to add it.
I wasn't present for them having that conversation, right?
Right, but they told us.
Right. And I mean, that's one of the things that I want to clarify with your mom down the road. But so somebody wants to know how close Malaya was to her best friend Angeline during the time that she lived with you. Is that the friend that she stayed in contact with, or like, do you know?
Yeah, and you know, I don't have anything bad to say about Angeline. I'll be the first to say that she did have contact with Angeline, and Angeline has always been her friend since she was young. And you know, they enjoyed horses, and somebody's just laying on their horn when they're driving by.
Because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Angeline was always...
He's probably making that up. Someone just laying on their horn as they're going by here. Just like, you know, there's at least 50 drones at your house every night. When you're traveling, you say the RCMP follow you in a helicopter. Do you know how much money it costs for every minute, Daniel, for the RCMP or anybody to put an aircraft up in the air? Does he not realize how much it costs? You got to pay the people doing the aircraft, you know, flying the aircraft or searching. You got to pay for the maintenance, the fuel, everything. It's an obscene amount, and you think you are so haughty that they follow you for your safety, mainly because you're paranoid. Really, let's be real. Because you don't have cell phone service. That one takes the cake for me. It really, really does, guys. Thank you, Cher. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much for the silver star and the hiding. Appreciate you, love. I'll just never get over that as long as I live.
Malaya's close friend. She was never friends with Cheryl. Like, she never talked about Cheryl. I don't have anything bad to say about Cheryl either. Malaya never told me any bad stories about Cheryl. Malaya never told me any, you know, bad stories about Angeline. Malaya told me lots of shit about everyone else. Sorry for my language. But I'm not here to repeat what Malaya says. I mean, I could, and I couldn't.
Let me find this.
She confirmed 100% to be Jack or Lily. Was never.
Your opinion on how the boot prints got up on the pipeline, if you have any ideas.
Listen to this.
That boot print on the pipeline, that was never actually confirmed 100% to be Jack or Lily. They just see that as the best potential evidence that's not on the property that's a boot print.
No, they confirmed it. They confirmed it. They, in fact, went to quote great lengths to confirm that, right? They went to great lengths. 1 second here. I need to find something. Let me see if it'll play. Okay. Now, going to come straight back to this in just a second, but I want to find something to compare this to.
There was I don't know what you would call them, search teams or
deal. And
yeah.
So you weren't allowed to go into the woods. Where were you at during this time?
I was actually back by Mom's RV talking to her, and we were wondering why we couldn't go back into the woods. And then a number of minutes passed. I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes passed.
Now, here he says, we were just hearing him talking about the woods just a second ago. Here he talks about we were wondering why we couldn't go back into the woods. I would really like to know who the we is. Not that you're watching, Daniel, and you couldn't put that in chat, but I would really like to know who the we is. When you say the we, first of all, you never said you were in the woods. Like I said, you said you were in the car, on roads and maybe some trails. Your mom was supposedly behind the house as well, but you just seen her in a second there. So you were in that 10-15 minutes, you were wondering why you couldn't go back into the woods. However, what's kind of weird to me right there is if you were back there talking to your mom in that 10 or 15 minutes, when did you ask them in that 10 or 15 minutes when you could go back into the woods if they were talking to Malaya? Now, you do say, to be fair, that when you pull up and you pull next to the swamp there, that's when you say that they say, Daniel, don't go back into the woods. And that's where another problem lies. Again, how did they know your name? How did they know you were in the woods? And all of that. So either way, the big questions right there.
And a guy in military gear, it said Oliver on the back of his on his shirt or vest or whatever you want to refer to it as, or uniform, we'll call it.
Yeah.
He actually said, Daniel, you can go back into the woods. And I actually believe he was later on. He was a canine handler, but I don't know if the dog was there yet at that point.
Understood.
Because I remember seeing him with a canine unit, I'm pretty sure, later on in the search.
And so you were allowed to go back in the woods?
Yeah, and then I immediately...
Which time, Daff? We were talking about that on the phone yesterday. What was that? Which one was it? How do you know if the dog was there or not? Right? Yes, the boot print was confirmed. Oh yeah, they went to great lengths to do that. They went to Walmart.
Jumped the fence, and I was right back into the woods, and I did all the streams that were up behind the house that lead into that little marsh that's actually to the left of the house, which you showed.
Right here, he's talking about the marshes and stuff like that. But he and the streams and stuff, which he says he's already done checked the culverts and all that. But they ask him if he killed the kids because that's... Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Let me find that.
Now, I don't know how true this is. I've heard rumors of this, that at some point you heard a scream and you thought it sounded like the kids. When was
that? That was later on. That would have been, it was still on that same stream path when I was walking up through the woods. Okay. I thought I heard a scream, but you have to remember, I had a helicopter right above me. There was drones. There was already people searching at this point. So I don't know if it was actually a child scream or not, but it did sound like a scream, but it could have been somebody yelling for the kids, right?
That's possible too. Yes, 100%.
But it was so hard to tell because the way the helicopter was going, it was going slow and doing...
I think we mean this one right here. Listen to this.
I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanted to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods, and where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning?
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone.
Here we go.
I told them do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said there's rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No, not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Listen to this.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yep, great, thank you, come in for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up. And
when did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but
listen to
that
this.
would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
We go in, sit down in a big comfy chair, and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have a measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand. And you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
Listen.
That was the first question they asked you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them.
Okay, now listen to this.
You were questioned heavily by police and even given polygraph tests. Did you feel you were interrogated?
No. Not at all.
Did you ever feel RCMP were suspicious
Listen.
of you?
I would assume at first because they didn't know the answers. But the RCMP know now.
You've been polygraphed how many times? Twice?
Twice.
What was that experience like?
It was nerve-wracking, mostly because of the question I was asked. The second one wasn't as bad because I had already been through one, but I understood why they had to be done, and I just got through it. And
thank you, my darling.
because I
Appreciate
knew
you.
the truth.
What
Ellen,
was the question?
Thank you. Thank you, Horsey.
The first one was if I it's too heartbreaking to say.
What was
Is
your
it too
answer?
real?
No.
Did police ask if
Listen to
you
this.
had anything to do with the disappearance?
No. But I kept asking that question myself to them, And they would just reply, "That's a good question, but..."
This is the weirdest thing to me. Did the police ask you if you had, anything to do with your children's disappearance? And she says no, but I kept asking the police that question. Meaning, do I have something to do with my kid's disappearance? Now, why? And Daphne, I don't think you were here yesterday, but we played Leilani Simon, Quentin Simon's mother, who was convicted of unaliving her kid. It's Quentin Simon, and I was down there on that case, and she beat him to death in his pack and play. And she did an interview, and she says, if I have anything to do with it, I will take myself down to the police station. Very similar here. Why would you... No human being on the planet would say, if I have anything to do with it, I'll take myself down there. You know what the hell you did. But Malaya here, she's asking the RCMP, do you have anything to do with it? And RCMP saying, that's a good question, Malaya. But remember, Malaya says the trauma of it all, she just can't remember. She just can't remember.
Had anything to do with the disappearance?
No. But I kept asking that question myself to them, and they would just reply, "That's a good question," but also I didn't know why they wouldn't polygraph me for that as well. But I already told them if any more polygraphs are going to be done, that I'm more than willing to go in and do them.
You wanted them to ask you that question? Can I ask you that question?
Throw the cue cards up.
Did you have anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No.
Bullshit. Right here it is.
I'm here. I've been here every day since this. I am not running and I'm not hiding. And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station.
Chatham County Police have...
Little Quentin. She will take herself to that police station. Now she's convicted unaliver, which we knew it then, just like we know, in my opinion, with Malaya and Daniel. Now she's, I think, appealing for a bullshit. Crazy.
Right, because there was a boot print found right beside in front of Mom's RV, coincidentally right where Malaya was standing.
Now look here, he's trying to put this off on Malaya, right? Coincidentally, there was this footprint in front of Janie's bumper, right, where Malaya was standing. Daniel, you dumbass, y'all said you were in bed together all morning and you guys looked in the house together, and then you ran outside together, looked outside. So what is she going to do? I don't know, plant a shoe print while you both walk out? Like, what kind of sense do you make, Daniel?
And she made the dispatch call in the same area, and that's so they could they did the forensics on physical forensics on the boot print that was found on the pipeline, and with Jack and Lily's boots, because they went to Walmart and investigators bought the same boots.
Sure did.
Because every single boot has a different tread. The tread will still be the same, but the width.
Right. Now, it's very interesting because here he's telling the truth. He says they went to Walmart. The RCMP document said they went to great lengths to confirm these boot prints. But then a couple days before he did this interview, he did an interview with our friend Sonny with It's a Crime and Shame. And he says about the boot prints, he's like, that cannot be confirmed. It could be 70%, it could be 60%, it could be 90%, but they cannot confirm those boot prints. And it's like, you just talk out of your ass.
Of the tread marks on the boots are significantly different for each size.
That's correct.
So they had to get the exact same size as Lily's and the exact same size as Jack and the same brand and the exact same model of boot. And they checked them with the forensics on the pipeline, and it's not 100% match. You know, we can say it's a 90% match or an 80% or even 95.
Sorry, it's this one.
But there's a difference between...
Sorry, I stand corrected on that. Or maybe he said it on It's a Crime and Shame too, but I didn't realize he said it on this one. Now listen to this. Listen, he just said that they went to great lengths, right, to check those boot prints. He doesn't want to confirm these boot prints, though. He just wants to talk about the one that they won't confirm, and that's the one that was in their yard.
And they checked them with the forensics on the pipeline, and it's not 100% match. You know, we can say it's a 90%.
It's not 100% match, he says. Even though he just talks about they went to Walmart, they each size, right? That the tread is very specific with each size, right? The tread is gapped differently because of the size, obviously. And RCMP, I think it's the CBC, they all said that they confirmed that it would have been the same size, the same type of boot, and they went to, quote, great lengths.
Percent match or an 80% or even 95, but there's a difference between 95 and 100. That's not 100%. So that boot print on the pipeline, it doesn't contain 100% accuracy. So
right, and this is the place that you said you never been, right, Daniel, and that you didn't go check on it once they found it that night. Right? So
we can say it's a toss up. It's either yes or no if it's Lily or Jack. And there's no in between.
So profound, Daniel. So profound. It's either a yes or a no that it's Lily and Jack's. Thank you. Thank you so much. The fuck does that mean?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Anita?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Very. Oh, I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Who sent in that question? Jesus. I think Anita.
Let me fast forward this to the next question right here before I go to the next.
And never brought to light. A lot of it helped me through, times I had over the last year where, Jordan helped me through a lot of, times I had over the last year where, every day wasn't the greatest. And there's a lot of conversations between.
By help, you mean he got you your rugs on those hard days, right, Daniel?
Jordan and Anita, I think that were never brought to light. And it was only, the terrible stuff that was ever brought to light. No one wants to put out something that's actually viewer friendly, we'll say.
Yeah, nobody seems to want to talk about how things progress into what we, the public, get to hear, and that's something that I'm that I'm actively working on, just so that people can see the other side of things, right? Because obviously he doesn't just jump into full rage mode for no reason,
Right.
and not excusing it, but everybody has boundaries that we hear, that we get to hear on somehow calling people out. So
You know, Jordan, he wasn't ever planning to having defend himself for no reason. It was his father that brought him in. You know, and being my friend.
Has anyone heard from old, what's his name? Durwood? Is he, slithering around anywhere? Has he been quiet? Like, anybody? Where did 80%, 90%, 95% come? It came out of his ass. That's where it came from, Deb. Yes. Nope. So he's still slithering around. Jordan had court not long ago, yeah. Her appeal was denied, thank God. Yes. Oh, yes to him being quiet, yeah. Wonder why. Oh, he was on Hidden in the Fog? He's on Hidden in the Fog every night. He's always on TikTok.
All he ever wanted to do was stick up for me because he believes I'm innocent. And I am innocent. And Jordan, he doesn't take criticism well because he doesn't deserve to be criticized. And I put the sole, belief and sole fault on Jordan having to defend himself and having to say the things he said on his father. We can touch on Darren in a minute, but I'm gonna stop you for 1 second. I'm gonna run and pee because I have to pee. So maybe you can fill in the empty air.
Okay, this is where. Let me find it.
Reach back out to Daniel. No fashion.
Just a friendly reminder. I
don't know where to direct that frustration.
I think I am. That's because the property home safe. I've always said that.
Listen
it's
to
just
this right here.
A second. That's the main thing. So because they want the awareness and that, but you cannot, in correspondence with major crimes, because I would constantly ask them, can I tell the public this? Can I tell the public that? And no, Daniel, don't touch on this. No, Daniel, don't.
Again, that's about, him and Malaya said, RCMP didn't want us to talk, right, on these things. And he's like, no, we just want you to be mindful.
Touch on that, but you can say that if you want. You're free to do interviews. And law enforcement will never stop you from doing interviews because they want the awareness raised. So we can all see Jack and Lily again, because that's the main thing since May 2nd.
Thank you, Magdalena.
It's been, where's Lily and Jack, and let's bring them home safe. You. And
thank you so much.
People always say I'm not emotional enough, or
you're a narcissist.
I'm not, saying that bring Jack and Lily home safe. I've always said that. It's always cut out of interviews.
No, it's not. I'll cut it. Thank you again, Magdalena. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for gifting 2 pearl necklaces. If you received one of those, make sure you give our Magdalena a big, big thank you. Appreciate you, love.
They want these clickbait.
You hear what Malaya said? Malaya said yesterday, right? She's like, these YouTubers, they want clicks and they want views and all of this. And listen, then she asked people to keep putting their name out there and all that. again, don't blame us for something you guys won't do, Daniel and Malia, right? Don't blame YouTubers, TikTokers, or anybody else for that, Malia, and then ask for us to keep putting their faces out. And you haven't spoke on them in 15 months. And Daniel, shut the hell up. You have said every lie that I can possibly think of in this case. Thank you, Cher. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much for the clutch.
You know, thumbnails or clickbait topics where it's Daniel saying the cadaver dogs will not find anything for 100%.
That's
and
exactly
by saying that, I'm trying to tell the public the truth, because the cadaver dog.
Well, you know, it would be great if you would tell the truth, you piece of garbage. That would be great. But here's the thing, Daniel, that your brain can't seem to wrap around, is that nobody should be 100% sure of anything if they don't know where Jack and Lily is. I don't care if they've searched the same area. They've wandered, the search and rescue has wandered, like in the Bible, 40 days or 40 years in the same forest. I don't care. Nobody knows 100% anything unless you know where Jack and Lily are. You can never be 100% sure. You can say, God, they've searched this area. You know, it surprised me if they were here, but, you know, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue doing this. But you should never be 100% sure of anything. And let's be honest, Daniel. Let's be honest. You were shitting bricks when they were there. You know it. I know it. Your ex knows it. I've got the text messages. I've shown the text messages. Come on, stop it.
Dogs are not going to find anything for 100% because I believe that the kids are still alive. And I don't believe.
Charmaine there, God bless her. She's just doing her thing right there.
The kids are buried on the property, right? Because the property was searched. They had the.
Here's the thing. You can believe that the kids are still alive, even though I believe, in my opinion, you know where the hell they are and what the hell happened. But a belief is not 100% either.
Cadaver dogs here. So I was telling the truth.
No, you weren't.
And I've only just told the truth. I've done that since the start.
No.
I told the.
No. People who's telling the truth never have to say I'm telling the truth. And you don't have to try to convince anybody either, because you know you're telling the truth.
The public, the kids were seen the day ahead of time. I mean, the day before. I brought that to the public.
I was one told the people that the kids were seen a day ahead of time. I mean, the day.
Turns out it was true because they put on a statement right after. I told the public about my polygraph. It was put out to the public.
He wants you to see how honest he is here, right? I want you to know that I have just told the truth, right? I was the one that said the kids were seen at the Dollarama, right? I was the one that told you that I passed a polygraph. I'm the one that is the one keeping Jack and Lily's name out. Well, you're not doing any of this for Jack and Lily. You're doing this to save your ass, Daniel.
Look right after in a statement. I said that the blanket was found in the tree. I mean, there was 2 blankets found. There was.
Did you notice that one right there?
The blanket was found in the tree. I mean, there was 2 blankets found. There was little.
I was the one that told you that the blanket was found in the tree. I mean, that there was 2 blankets found. Mm-hmm. Yeah. you were the only one that denied that was Lily's blanket as well, Daniel. The only one. Malaya didn't lie that was Lily's blanket. She didn't lie that was Lily's blanket. You lied to the media over and over and over about the pink blanket. You just said in the other interview just a minute ago, you said, I passed there at 10:06 or 10:08, and the blanket wasn't planted there then. The blanket wasn't planted there then. Now listen.
It was put out to the public right after in a statement. I said that the blanket was found in the tree. I mean, there was 2 blankets found. There was Lily's found.
That there was, I was the one that said the blanket was found in the tree, up in the tree. I mean, there was 2 blankets found.
In the tree. And there was another whole pink blanket that was found. Officer Kara Mason brought to me. She said, "Is this Lily's?" And I said, "No, that's a solid pink blanket. That's not Lily's." And there's a lot of misconceptions there.
No, there's no misconceptions. There's no misconceptions. Even the news said you were deceptive when telling them, right? Why don't you talk about what you said to the 2 reporters when Malaya first left? You know, when you told them Malaya's going to blame all of this on me. And that's where they found that very confusing, because they was like, what do you mean she's going to blame all of this on you? And you said, never mind.
Or miscommunications where I said it was Lily's and then I said it wasn't. That was never the case.
You are the biggest liar right there. We have you in quotes saying it, Daniel.
If you go back to my first CBC interview, I said there was 2 blankets brought to me. It
doesn't matter if there's 1,000 blankets brought to you. If you say none of them are Lily's, and you said none of them are Lily's. And actually, I think it's on DT's channel, you say none of them were Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's. None of them were Jack's.
There was Lily's piece in the tree, and there was also the solid pink blanket that was found during the search. There's 2 blankets. I think a lot of some of the YouTube creators need to go back and watch maybe some of my interviews, because they're the ones that are giving misinformation, not me.
Right. And I think that this is really important with those types of details that, you know, sometimes I forget to ask these questions. And so thank you for bringing up the 2 blanket thing. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker to get really important, not double questions. But for now, do you remember Lily's doll and why it could be part of, you know, what they're looking for during these searches?
Yeah, there was a Dracula Monster High doll. I didn't even know it was missing until investigators sent me images of it, and I said, "Yeah, Lily owned that doll." Then I thought to myself, I don't remember when I gathered up all Lily and Jack's toys and their clothes. I don't remember that doll being there, because Lily loved her mermaid dolls. Like, she loves mermaid dolls, and I found it very odd that she would take that doll over her mermaids.
So did Lily take a doll? Right, LD, just give up the ghost already. Exactly. Did Lily supposedly take a doll?
Because she loves her mermaid dolls much more than the Dracula one. Not unless that was already in her backpack, because that's what I'm getting out of it is I presume that this doll was probably in the backpack. That's what I gained from investigators because it's missing.
He thought this was probably in the backpack. Notice how notice this, how Daniel is the only one that talks about these, you know, the shoe prints not being, you know, we're not 100% sure they're Jack and Lily's, even though we do. Notice how Daniel was the only one that avoided saying that that was Lily's blanket for so long. Notice how Daniel talks about Jack's jacket, that it was hung up and he couldn't reach it, and that notice how Daniel says, which is the only parent I've ever heard say that he could not say what Jack and Lily were actually wearing the day that they went missing. Notice how Daniel says that Malaya didn't take any of her belongings, and then says, what does he say with that? He says that she left her stuff at her mom's or grandma's or something like that. And then he talks about Lily's shirt as well. Daniel also talks about his 2 shirts. He said Malaya took them. That's the only thing she took that day. And she wrote, you know, kind of a note on the bathroom mirror with lipstick. He's the only one that talks about that. Yeah, left her stuff at Patty's place. But he didn't plan anything, right? Right.
And I don't really have much on that other than that.
Yes.
That wasn't her preferred.
Yes, and yes, exactly. Notice how they only took Daniel's DNA to compare it to Lily's piece of blanket that was, as he says, and that I agree, was planted in the tree. Didn't take anybody else's DNA.
Doll. Or whatever you want to refer to it as.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, love. The jewelry.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, babe. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And then a number of questions are about if it's possible that Malaya could have had someone else pick them up, or, you know, did the kids know that they weren't going to school that day? Like all these questions that I don't know that you would have the answer to, but, you know, I don't know. Do you know?
That first one is kind of like a theory or conspiracy, or, you know.
Correct.
I've always thought that in the past, but as time goes on,
let me find this. Let me show you this.
I'm not too sure on the theories or conspiracies or what happened. I just don't know. And I think it was a lapse in judgment for the accusations I made. I'm not defending Malaya in any way, but I just don't know. And I don't know what to say on that. I just don't know what happened. Because I lay in bed with Meadow every single morning, and that morning was no different for me. And I thought Lily and Jack were going to school that day. I didn't know they were being marked absent. And I'm going to say this. Malaya failed to get up with Jack and Lily that morning. I have always done the same thing when I do.
Malaya failed to get up with Jack and Lily that morning, right? But you said that, you know, y'all wanted to get Meadow to get as much sleep as possible. And though, Daniel, you say you were the one that saw Lily that morning, even though Malaya was just laying in bed. that you spoke to Lily that morning, and you said Malaya was asleep, but you claim you were the one awake. So did you fail to get up as well? Can you take any of that responsibility? Thank you, Spirit Seeker. Clock it, girl. Thank you so much.
When I don't work, I
appreciate you.
Lay in bed with Meadow and sleep. Made sure she gets sleep because she was very young. She was just over a year old.
Had been asleep.
So I don't
10
really.
hours.
I mean, and anything's possible, but I just don't know. Like, we've done multiple polygraphs, and like I'm dumbfounded at the situation, like everybody else, because I always get these messages that say Lily and Jack didn't vanish into thin air, and that's 100% correct. But I don't know where they are, and I don't know where they went. I've run over every single possible location I could think of, every person they could have had an interaction with, and I've given all that to investigators. I've even offered investigators many times that sit down with investigators, the lead investigators and the social media team, and I said, let's sit down and you guys, shoot off as many questions as you can to me, and I'll try my best to answer every single one. But they always say, Daniel, that's not necessary, or Daniel, I can see about it, but probably not. So I want the public to be fully aware of that, and that I don't just avoid investigators.
Okay.
I've always been so forward. And
let me show you this right here. So I was just talking about how Daniel, we'll come back to this in just a second, but I was just talking about, Daniel saying Malaya failed to get up, which I do agree with that. But he says he was the one awake, right? He says he was the one awake and talked to Lily that morning and saw her that morning, even though Malaya said yesterday that she was the one that saw Lily that morning. Alley Cat, thank you so much for the Sunday, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. A helicopter says the sleepover backpack. What sleepover? Well, he's making it sound like when Lily went to her grandma's, she would take this specific backpack for a sleepover. But look at what Mr. Mattel says here. Let me show you this right here, up in the left corner. These are text messages from Daniel on Facebook. I'll answer a few questions here. No, my brother's dog was not on the property. My brother's dog rarely is ever taken in vehicles due to her poor health. She's 15 years old and struggles to even walk. Next. Things that I could have done differently is when Lily poked her head in excitingly. I should have got up. Yes, you should have, Daniel. Malaya usually got up first with the kids, but looking back, I should have just got up and let Malaya sleep with Meadow, right? But even though you just said Malaya completely failed Jack and Lily, and I agree. I think you both should have, because I mean, technically Malaya hadn't seen Jack in 12 hours, right? But DM said he found them after. I think he means the other backpack. I don't know. I'll look more at that helicopter one sec. Okay. Lily and Jack would often take food to eat anytime to snack on, but it was very odd that morning they didn't. Even though he says Jack is in the kitchen and you can hear him open cabinets and all that stuff, which I don't believe any of that happened. But anyway, often Not just in the morning, but any time of the day, they pulled a chair up to the counter and took food, or pulled a chair up to the pantry to grab whatever they favored. Apples were often taken from the fridge, or yogurt cups taken and eaten. As I said, no food was removed, which is extremely odd. No chairs moved. The hardest thing to swallow is I heard Jack rustling in the kitchen when Lily poked her head in. But as I said, nothing misplaced except one item, which was brought up to investigators' attention by me. What was misplaced? Now, how would he know that Jack misplaced something in the that was in the kitchen when that place was piled the hell up? You couldn't even see the damn counter. I'll wait. Yep, even Earl said he bought them food. He later admitted on Char's Live when we pressured him that he doesn't know who put BBM in her crib. Oh, no, hell no. He was too high of his head. What they favored makes it sound like they had many options attuned to their desires, aka well cared for. Correct. And that's definitely not the truth. Yep, only when it serves him. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. By the way, Callie, shut the fuck up on your theories and accusations. Don't help to provide clarity to the case. It muddies the water. Not that you've ever muddied the water, have you, Daniel? For newcomers that want to learn about the case. We all know you're an effing liar, Daniel. Newcomers may have a perspective to share that's valid. What if the newcomers think that you're full of shit, Daniel? Right? Then they're muddying the waters, right? But the BS post may prevent them from sharing due to the backlash they fear. Some may find this helpful, others will attack. I've asked numerous times for more polygraphs to be excuse me, administered on many others that have not received them, meaning polygraphs, from the first round, but nothing has resulted. Cadaver dogs I've been asked for since June, but again, it has not resulted in an outcome. I've ran so many things through investigators, so no one should ever say I don't want to see this missing persons case move forward. You flipped the hell out when the cadaver dogs came, Daniel. Jack and Lily deserve to be in school. They deserve to make and have friends. They deserve to go to the park and go to the mall and stores. They deserve to grow up and not see insane accusations against me or my mother or Malaya. I'm not protecting Malaya, but she is the mother of our daughter Meadow, and Meadow does not deserve to see the garbage posted online when she is older. You know what's interesting to me right there? Right there, he says that Meadow, how does he say it? I'm not protecting Malaya, but she is the mother of our daughter. Not she is the mother to Jack and Lily, but to our daughter. And Meadow doesn't deserve to see the accusations, not Jack and Lily, right? Because, you know, Jack and Lily aren't alive, right, Daniel? garbage post when she's older. What about when Jack and Lily are older, Daniel? Have common sense. Everyone talks. Sorry. Have common sense. Everyone. That's all I ask. The internet is forever. Have faith in major crime investigators. They work endlessly to bring this case to close because I've already expressed to them I will not accept a cold case, and I know all of you will not either. Amen, Daniel. This is still considered a missing persons case. It has not switched to a criminal case. Explanation point, explanation point. This is still, okay, 1 second. Callie, help newcomers to this case. Don't provide their minds with useless theories. It doesn't help anyone, he says. Okay. Right here. Then it meant she knew her kids weren't coming back, quote, end quote. Daniel was also upset that Malaya left, quote, I've been the only one there for them, he sobbed in an interview, quote, she can't control them, meaning Jack and Lily. Only I can. They act out whenever she's there, meaning Malaya. She always gets me to calm them down or get them to stop fighting or feed them or get them up and put them to bed every night. Well, it's very interesting you didn't put them to bed the night they went missing, and you didn't get them up the next morning either, Daniel. She was asking me to do everything. It just breaks my heart not to ever see everybody, whatever that means. Daniel has said in an interview that the evening before the kids disappeared, everyone was home. He said he spent the evening working on the fence in the backyard. It was a night just like any other for the young children, he added, though he couldn't remember the time he went to bed. Yeah. I don't know where Callie's been. If you heard Jack opening cabinets and moving around the kitchen, then explain how you determine nothing has been moved. I mean, like, here's the thing. When your kids are in the house and you can hear them in another room, you know what the hell they're doing. You know what they're playing with. It's not the first time you've ever heard that, right? Daniel has said in an interview that the evening before the kids disappeared, everyone was home. Okay, I read that part right there. Okay. There is, however, at least one account of strange activity at the mobile home that night. RCMP spokesperson Corporal Carly McCann confirmed that the police received a tip on May 8th from someone who described hearing a vehicle come and go from the mobile home throughout the night before the children were reported missing. Quote, investigators are continuing to review and I think they mean assess more than 600 tips from the public and follow up on over 800 tasks, end quote, she wrote in an email. A neighbor who spoke to the Globe said they reported this information on May 8th. The neighbor said that they were working on a vehicle in their own yard when they heard the same loud 5-speed come and go from the trailer about 6 times from midnight to 5 a.m. After the children's disappearance, the neighbor considered it important information and reported it to the police. The Globe agreed not to name the neighbor because of concerns for their safety. Now, we know who those neighbors are now, right, though? No, but she was not walking, but also underweight. little, I mean, you can tell little Meadow a major difference after she got out of that toxic environment. Now, with the blanket, Daniel initially told police and the Globe on May 5th that the pink blanket found in the woods did not belong to Lily. Now, remember, he just called us a liar. He just called us a liar on that, right? People are making that stuff up. Again, Daniel initially told police and the Globe on May 5th, right? This is 3 days after Jack and Lily vanished, that the pink blanket found in the woods did not belong to Lily, but he later changed his story. In a subsequent interview, he suggested that the blanket was planted, taken from his week-old garbage. He also claimed 2 of his sweatshirts that we just talked about a minute ago mysteriously disappeared from his home after the kids went missing. He declined to elaborate any further. Well, Happy Farm Girl, the news said that Malaya is working with the RCMP. So I don't know. 6 trips in the middle of the night doesn't sound like a detail you simply skip when describing the night as normal. Yeah. And then also getting stuck on a logging trail, you kind of wouldn't slip that out either, right? And then on top of that, having your car scrapped, crushed, taken to the crusher. In my opinion, when police are quiet, it makes them nervous and squirm. I agree. Justin, if the neighbor reported this to the police on May 8th, then I want to know whether investigators were able to identify that vehicle. I think at first they were not able to verify that vehicle. When this report first came out, they did. I don't think that they were able to, but then I always say I think something else. It took a little while, and I think that they went back, and I think they were able to find something. In my opinion, they weren't wearing what you think they were wearing. Correct. He sure did say that, didn't he? He sure did, right? Teachers and other professionals who work with the children. Hold on one second. What we know about Jack and Lily's interaction with child welfare authorities is that a social worker came to the trailer over concerns raised by the school several months before their disappearance to assess their home life. Daniel, however, told the Globe the visit was related to kids' learning difficulties at school. He said the children were suspected of having autism and were scheduled to see a doctor the same month they vanished. He declined to answer further questions about the involvement of child protection staff in the kids' lives. Right? And this is where they talk about Jack came to school last December with a black eye, according to a photo of him posted by his elementary school. The photo of the class trip on December 13th, 2024, 5 months before he and his sister disappeared, showed him sitting next to another student in the forest with green and purple bruised below his left eye, which is right there. He almost looks like he's got something around his mouth too. And then he says right here, another photo shows a possible black eye and bruising on Jack's face in a photo taken on September 2024. An injury that Daniel defended on social media, saying it was caused by Lily. Yeah, he blames Lily for that. Daniel did not respond to questions asked about Jack, how Jack received a black eye in December, but in a private Facebook messages they were shared with the Globe, Daniel acknowledged Jack had, quote, many black eyes. Quote, one time Lily punched him in the face, end quote. It's amazing how he can say Lily punched Jack in the face, but he's not man enough to talk about him punching Jack and Lily, a 4 and 6 year old in the face. Thank you, Summer Breeze. Appreciate you, babe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, love. He is the biggest piece of garbage. Biggest piece of garbage. Now listen to this right here.
Cooperative with them. I've asked them to take all their phones again.
Okay. I've asked them to take all of our phones again. Now, we know that I think it was after this interview or right around this interview, they talk, we get some new reporting that the RCMP were coming back to look at more technology and were supposedly looking for phones and all that as well.
And I asked,
so it's interesting.
I asked them to, sit me down and do questions, and it just seems like, Daniel, we don't need you. Daniel, that's not necessary. And I don't know if I'll get backlash from them for saying that, but that's.
Oh, thank you, Jab. Thank you so much. Let them cook. Fry, mother chickens, fry. You and you and you. Yes. This is an actual picture of Janie when she comes out of her camper of the morning, taking Tucker out to use the bathroom right before she feeds the chickens. An actual picture.
That's the truth.
Thank you, Deb.
Yeah, and as far as backlash, like if they want to prevent speculation, just, you're the only person that's coming out and speaking. So the only way they can, justify any complaints they have is by putting out a meaningful statement.
It's the way it is here. It might be
what's
me,
right
Lisa.
And what's wrong, and they don't have to divulge anything about the investigation to set us straight for a lot of things. Can you please verify one last time if anybody else was with you and Malaya in the trailer that night? Was your mother in there? Was Justin in there? Was Logan in there? Thursday night, did you have anybody else staying with you on the property Thursday night into Friday morning?
When we pulled the car, we went to Acropole on Thursday afternoon. We pulled the car in at approximately 3:50 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
He remembers that very well, doesn't he?
On Thursday. That car never moved until the next morning when I told the story. I jumped in it when Moy was on the dispatch call.
Right here.
There was no traffic in and out of the house. There's no black Kia Rios, 5 speeds. I don't know how to even drive a manual car, so that's that in itself is a little ridiculous. I never owned a black Kia Rio. I never owned a black car. So,
well, what did you do with the one you crushed? And why did Durwood have one for sale in July of 2025 that he said he's never owned, but we have a picture of him on Facebook, taking a picture of it on Facebook Marketplace
Actually, I do own the Escalade, so I mean that's considered a black SUV.
Different
black
one,
car,
Daniel. You got that after.
I never bought that until.
You didn't buy that until you won money gambling online. You won what, $5,000 or $6,000, and you bought that Escalade because of the badge on it. When I would have rather had a Toyota hybrid that would actually get me somewhere, rather than something with a luxury name on it.
September of 2025.
You know something, what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a song that has Janie and what's her name? Mrs. P-Foot, and we're going to call it the Musty Hutches. We're going to call it the Musty Hutches. That's what we're going to call it, the Musty Hutches. Remember, what's that nursery rhyme? Old Mother Hubbard. But we're going to call it Two Musty Hutches. The Two Musty Hutches. Old Mother Hubbard's Two Musty Hutches. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, Cher, for the hiding gift. I appreciate you very much. Oh my God. Well, for those of you that didn't follow me then, we still follow Sebastian's case really closely, but Sebastian's step grandmother, very similar to Jack and Lily's step grandmother, she had a storage building, and she had this kitchen hutch. First, she had taken pictures. I guess she was going to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, and it had some like mildew and stuff on it. And someone in chat said, God, it looks musty like that. And I was like, yeah, her hutch is musty. And so that's how we got the name Musty Hutch. So that's how we got the musty hutch.
But there was no drug party. There was no one at the house. It was me and Malaya and Mom, Lily and Jack, and me and Malaya's daughter.
Oh, hold on. I got something for that, actually.
So no...
Or our daughter. There was no other adults on the property.
Thank you. And I mean, you've got to be... I've asked many people to verify that for me, and every single person that I've asked has verified that for me. It would be, just get a message over to your brother. It'd be stellar if I could get it from his voice that he was not there, but I get it. If he doesn't want to, I totally understand, but I've been trying my best to put that to rest since I found out from one of your family members who does talk to Justin, who said, in fact, he did work and he went home to be with his pregnant wife. But people just don't want to, they don't want to believe it. So it is what it is. So
my brother tries to avoid, sorry for cutting you off again.
Today.
My brother tries to avoid all the spotlight he can because he has a family. And I know what that's like to have a family, and you don't want any bullshit to be,
you don't want your bullshit,
brought upon your family. Because I know what it's like to have a family. And this is been a very troubling time going from having a family to not.
To what?
What direction do you think the search for Lily and Jack could take next? Is there anything you think that hasn't been explored yet?
I was looking, someone sent me a picture the other day of a new of a new washing machine, and they said it was Janie's Wash a Spinner. Kathy, thank you for the floating heart, babe. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, Miss Kathy. Thank you, Magdalena, for the happy poo. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. And thank you again for the happy poo. Appreciate you. Janie likes what's the noise, Tucka? Oh, it's an oyster shucker in the spinner. Yes. This one right here. This one right here. Let me find it. Where is it at?
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey. Get out of here. What the fuck?
That's the one Daphne sent me one day. She sent me her evil birds outside. And the bird, it's like these disgusting birds. And it like shits and then the bird sticks its head out. It's like that. And I added Daniel getting his head shit. Yeah, I need to do a Janie and a Daniel and Malaya emoji. I'll work on that. And Daphne added the bucket. Oh my god.
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey.
What's
Get
the
out
bird's
of here.
face?
What the fuck?
It's the bird at the very end. It's like, what the fuck? It opens its mouth. Just a reminder, M asked B if DM would adopt the kids. Ask yourself, would he talk about the kids like his own? What is M? What? Like, what if she changed their names? Well, she was supposedly going to change their names. But this is the thing. Daniel, he never posted pictures of Jack and Lily. He never posted pictures of Jack and Lily on his Facebook. Janie had no pictures of Jack and Lily as well. I got what you mean, Daleen. Yeah, guys, please hit that thumbs up. Please.
I think they should just keep following up on tips. People need to stop sending in tips where we seen Daniel out in public. That's like,
One second.
All the way to my car crashes and everything.
Malaya called Cindy at 8:28. Do you know?
Listen to this.
And I know
This
the
is
answer
important.
to this already, but do you know why Malaya called Cindy at 8:28 a.m. that morning? Please get into that a little bit, Daniel.
Okay, I didn't even know that Malaya made the call at 8:28 until it was in the documents. I had no idea.
He had no idea that Malaya made in a call at 8:28 that morning. He had no idea. I mean, just think about this. It's 8:28. She is calling her mom. She doesn't get an answer, so she calls her grandma. This is 8:28. Now, Janie gets a call at what, 8:40? Something like that from her brother. And then from 8:28, let's say, to 9:28, that's an hour, right? When did Lily come inside or come in the bedroom? Because you got to remember, by allegedly 9:40, that's when they supposedly hear, when they notice the kids are gone. So Malaya's calling someone an hour prior to Jack and Lily, noticing that they were missing, but she's also falling in and out of sleep. And then Daniel is nodding in and out of sleep as well within that hour. And then you got to remember, Malaya says she sees Lily come in. Daniel's asleep. Daniel says, no, I saw Lily come in. I actually spoke to her. And he says Malaya was asleep. Well, if Malaya was making calls at 8:28, which I don't believe either one of them saw Lily that morning or spoke to her or anything, but to me it would seem more like Malaya would have been the one that would have saw Lily if that would have happened, because she was the one more up that morning, right? She was up at 6 o'clock to say that the kids were not going to school. She supposedly gets up out of bed to get Meadow, because the kids wake her Meadow up, and she turns the TV on and all this. So Malaya is the one that seems more active that morning, right? Yes, Miss Belinda. Yes. Good to see you, hon. Lots of red flags there, right? Lots of red flags.
So, and that's, people are going to say, oh, he must have known that she made a call. I had no idea. I didn't even know Malaya made a call at 11:45 on Friday evening or Friday night. And she said that Cody may have taken the kids to New Brunswick.
Now, Belinda and I have talked about this, and I've talked to you guys about this. To me, after they did not find the kids on Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and Friday night, Malaya supposedly, making calls. And to me, this is when Daniel and Malaya start putting this into action, because you got to remember, by Friday night, I think they're starting to get suspicious. They had already talked to Daniel. They had already talked to Malaya. And they're like, if these kids were gone, in 10 or 20 minutes, that we would have found them by now. We'd have got a scent. We would have known something. And there's nothing to suggest that they were taken by anyone. So I think Friday night, this is when they got to come up with the new theory. Oh, start texting Belinda. I have Malaya saying, I have reason to believe that someone might have taken them. And so they start pointing at Cody and anywhere else they can, because it's not looking good for them. And you got to remember, right after that, the next morning, Saturday morning, the day after Jack and Lily disappear, who was there? Major crimes.
I didn't even know that until it was the 11:45 call was detailed in the documents, or until I heard about it. You see, the things is, before those documents came out, they can't openly say, do you know about this or that? Because, that's part of the evidence. Malaya can only answer that question, right? I have no idea. If Malaya didn't answer and she said, I don't know at all, then they would come to me and say, Daniel, do you know about this or that? And I don't know what that call was about. I have no idea. And it wasn't just some random buttons pushed on her phone, because she leaves her cell phone on the end table beside the bed, plugged in and charging. So it wasn't just it randomly dialed itself. And we know sure as heck that I ain't calling Cindy, so I think a lot of the people will know, but they don't know that by now. But
You told me a while ago that calls had to be made from certain areas of the trailer as well, so it's not even like she could have been half asleep doing it in bed, right?
that was made on, I'm pretty sure that was made on Facebook Messenger. That I'm aware of, the call at 8:28, because that's where she talked to Cindy at, was on Facebook Messenger. And she would usually talk to Cindy 4, 5, 6 times a day. Like leading.
Now, yes. Now, listen to this right here. Let me just fix that.
That's where she talked to Cindy at, was on Facebook Messenger. And she would usually talk to Cindy 4, 5, 6 times a day. Like leading up to the disappearance, it was like,
I mean, let's think about, you know, these are thin walls, right? They're thin ass walls. Think about Jack and Lily supposedly being out back. Janie says she hears them playing. Kids are loud when they're playing, right? You can hear them gabbing at each other or laughing and giggling and all of that stuff. Well, if they got out of the fence, right, they're going to be talking as well. And you're going to hear them going up the driveway and all of that. And they're not just going to run straight up the driveway. They're going to be, you know, they're distracted very easily. Things. Oh. Interesting. I just got some information in. Daniel, forget everything else for a minute. Start at 8:28 and count for every minute until 9:40, because somewhere inside those 72 minutes is the last reliable account of Jack and Lily. See, I don't even think that though, Deb. I think the reason this story falls apart so bad is because they were taken out of that house after midnight till about 5 a.m. None of this happened. All of this is made up. All of this is made up because it starts at 6 o'clock whenever she's Malaya gets up, and also conveniently Janie is up at 6 o'clock as well. Malaya's saying kids are absent. Janie's on, texting with her brother and talking to her brother. 8 o'clock rolls around that morning. Who's on the phone? Malaya's on the phone trying to get a hold of her mom. Janie's on the phone with her brother, right? So I don't think any of it happened that morning. Zilch. Nada. And this is why they can't come up with anything that morning. This is why Janie didn't say, well, what do you mean the kids are missing? I just heard them outside 10 minutes ago, right? She deleted the app after she got to her mother's house. She sure did. I don't know about you, but how many apps do you have on your phone that you don't use anymore? I have a lot that I have never used or rarely ever use. I just take, every once in a while, I just go through it and just start deleting apps all at once. But, in the few days of your kids missing, the last fucking thing I would be thinking about is changing my Facebook status to single and worrying about deleting an app that I don't use anymore, that you just happened to talk to people the night before. It's pretty obvious. Janie could not have slept through such an no. And let me tell you something. It's eating Janie up. It's eating her up. She has no peace. She has no peace. And I'm certainly glad of that. I wish everyone peace, unless you're lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old. That could really bring clarity because you're protecting your math head son.
Months up leading, it was 1 or 2 calls a day. And then as time went on, 3 or 4 calls a day. And then all the way before the disappearance, it was sometimes 5 calls a day, 6 times a day to Cindy. And, I always used to ask, why is Cindy or you talking to Cindy 6 times a day? That seems a little odd. Oh, she just wants to know, how the kids are doing.
Why do you care? Many people talk to their mother 1, 2, 5, 6 times a day. Were you jealous, Daniel? Yeah, it should be. But you also have to remember, Malaya talked through the Text Now app through her through the internet, and so which is very neglectful, in my opinion, on the RCMP's part. They didn't take Malaya's phone for several days afterwards, and she deleted that app as well, right? Isn't it convenient how Janie doesn't take her phone when she's searching for Jack and Lily? Daniel doesn't take his phone the first day when he's searching for Jack and Lily, but the second day he takes his phone, even though he says that there's no service in the woods. He has enough service to get Google Maps and video records about a 30-minute video to show Malaya where he's searching as well. And then Malaya deletes the app that she uses to call and text everyone by.
5 times a day? I don't know. I can't speak on Malaya's behalf or Cindy's behalf, nor do I want to. But
yeah, we're literally asking you to jump inside
Malaya. I think Malaya rather is I think she is talking to the RCMP. I think she is trying to be as much of a victim as she can milk. And I've asked you guys this question before. If one of them would roll on the other and we could find Jack and Lily, would that be okay with you? Right? One ends up going to prison and Jack and Lily are found. Is that okay? Or do they both deserve to be held accountable? And we wait. Yeah.
His mind to find out why she, so I mean, I get it. But just to clarify, though, the phone call would have had to been made at the bedroom window or kitchen window. Is that correct?
Not if it's done through Facebook Messenger. It's done on Wi-Fi.
Right. That's a very good point, Miss Joyous. Very good point. Daniel complains about MBM talking with her mom, and yet Daniel lives, with his mother. He lives on her tit. Yeah. Daniel can't even get weaned off his mother's tit as a 40-year-old man and a father of 3. Listen, when my mama was alive, I was the biggest mama's boy God ever stretched a piece of skin over, and I was very happy and content with that. So anybody, I think people should be close to their parents if they can be. They're only here for, so long. But I can tell you one thing, no matter how much my mama loved me, if I did something wrong, she would never, ever, ever, ever lie for me. Because she taught me to do the right thing, right? If you fuck up in life, which this is beyond a fuck up, in my opinion, but be accountable for it and, take it to God in this life. Don't take it to God in the next.
We have Starlink, right? So the Wi-Fi is really good. I get Wi-Fi like all the way out.
Daddy's
like
girls,
100 feet
mommy's boys.
From the trailer.
Yep.
So it could have been made anywhere. She could have stood out by the road and made it. She could have.
And this is the thing. It's not that. This is the thing. It's not that. Janie's being a rat on her son. You know what I mean? It's not that she's being this rat on her son, but Janie has to realize that Jack and Lily are the babies in this situation. Yes, Daniel's your son. Yes, you will love him. I know you don't take any pleasure telling the RCMP the truth. But Daniel's a man. Daniel's a father of his own. They all have a part in this, or no one else would be saying. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, that's what makes me think, people's like, well, why won't Malaya talk then? Why won't Malaya talk? And it's like, well, because in my opinion, she knows her ass will go to prison too. But it does make me wonder now, does Malaya's brother or some family member, did they help out a little bit early in the hours of the morning? Did they help out a little bit? They both sides of the family want to throw each other under the bus, but they can't throw one side of the family without throwing both sides of the family under the bus, right? Will you do that, Joe? Sure, he'll support you. I think the only I think the only way one would speak out is if they are feeling the heat and going to be thrown in prison. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk about Daniel and Malaya's brother being close, right?
Have stood in the woods behind the house and made it. She could have called from the bedroom. She could have called from the kitchen. It's anywhere there's Wi-Fi, and it's pretty far.
Okay. Have you done a lot of that self-reflection over the last year? Like, how have your thoughts and theories and even feelings evolved? Because I know that you talk to major crimes often and you're kind of on the inside to know more than we do, but as more information came out, can you just talk a little bit about how your thoughts and feelings?
Absolutely. That's what I was, talking about yesterday. RCMP says no sign of abduction, right? Nobody, stranger took them, even though Malaya was talking about there should have been an Amber Alert. Well, you got to have someone abducting them to have an Amber Alert, someone seeing that they're being abducted. RCMP saying nobody took them, right? They're saying that they didn't walk off. There's no sign of them being walked off. So what does that leave? Well, it leaves 3 people on the property that know what happened to 2 children. Right? Jack and Lily were not treated, in my opinion, as good as Meadow and Daniel's kids. Right? They were the others. They were the others. And that's just what it was. You can love your family with your whole heart and still refuse to lie to them, because Jack and Lily deserves the truth more than any adult deserves protection. 1000%. And that Jay said she was in the driveway at 10 p.m. only because a car went by. Yeah. We want justice for Jack and Lily, full stop. Amen. And you can tell that Daniel has milked that family, both sides of the family, right? He has milked them. Everything he has touched, essentially. He has, most people try to make things better for people. You have the givers and you have the takers. And Daniel has taken, wrecked every vehicle, wrecked every life, abused, neglected, physically, mentally, emotionally, rugs, alleged SA. Yep, the Bank of Patty. And but it was open for Miss Malaya too, and I think it still is open for Miss Malaya. I mean, she ain't working. She isn't working. Where the hell does she get her money now? She get her check straightened up? Oh. Is it smoky where you're at, Kelly? Is there fires? Doesn't Janie realize her son is going to take her down with him? You would think. Like I said, I think Janie is fucking miserable. I think there's just no peace. And again, that makes me wonder, does Justin have an account in this as well? Listen, I'm not saying it would be easy necessarily to turn your son in, but what if Justin is involved and both of her kids go to prison, get in trouble? Think about that. Yeah, helicopter. Yeah, amen. Interested MBM said she can't sleep without her medicine due to trauma. Sure. I bet she can. I can't remember if it was Shar or Sunny, but I asked them, I asked Daniel, I said, Daniel, what's the last memory you have of Jack and Lily? And Daniel says something very, very odd. He says that the last memory he has is them getting out, he says of taking Jack out of the car and carrying him down to the house. Does anyone remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that. Because it made me think of something. Okay. Well, to me, it's a very weird thing to say, right? Like, your last memory of him is not, you guys being out in the yard playing, them playing while you're fixing the fence or whatever. He says down to the house. But it makes me wonder if his last memory is him taking Jack out of the house to the vehicle in the middle of the night. Because I wanted to ask Daniel, what's the last time you remember, looking at Jack and Lily, right? Like, when's the last time you really, looked him in the eyes, and your last time you recall seeing them? So I want it to flash across his eyes. I want to see it flash across his eyes, because we know better. We know what you saw, Daniel. And it's just a very interesting thing for him to say, yeah, the last memory I have is, let me see if it's on this one. Listen to this. It's very weird. Let me see if it's in this one. It might be in the other one. Memories. Jack was a precise timeline. May have been the other one.
So I would lay in bed every day. I didn't work with Meadow, and me and her would sleep while Malaya got the kids off for school. I didn't know the kids were being marked absent that day. And that came to a shock for a lot of people because I don't really openly talk about it. And I don't know if investigators want me talking about it, but I didn't know they were being marked absent that day. And so when I thought Lily, I never seen Jack that morning. I heard him out in the kitchen. We can talk about that in a moment. But Lily came in multiple times, and she would just, come in and open the door, and that woke me up 2 times when she did that. Listen. And see, I thought Malaya was, getting ready to get up with the kids, because I thought it was a normal day for me, because I lay in bed with Meadow sleeping. So I don't know the exact time on that, but
thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you.
Investigators may know, because I'm not sure if it's collected if you click your phone screen on and off, like, from sleep where the screen is black, to clicking it on. Do you understand what I mean, Charmaine, by that?
I do, and I believe that
what is he talking about?
They may be able to track it. Yeah. They may be able to track the amount of times, or track the actual time it clicks on.
Oh, okay, got him.
But they would have a better estimate than what I would. I know that it would be after Malaya made the call, or before, like a little bit before, because I remember when the last time Lily came in, it was daylight outside.
It was daylight.
But I just seen it as Lily's up, Malaya must be getting up and getting her off to school, because I didn't look at my phone.
I'm looking for something. Give me a second, guys.
And so when we eventually did wake up, it would have been, she made the call at 10:01, so I'm thinking like 9:57 maybe around there. By the time we got up, went to the kitchen, I looked into the living room. I seen that the kids weren't there. I ran back to Lily and Jack's room, looked underneath their bed, they weren't there. So then we proceeded outside. We went over beyond the fence in front of Mom's RV, and that's when Malaya asked me, should we call 911 or should I call 911? Like, that's a given, right? I don't see the kids out in the yard. They weren't in the house. There's nothing else that, can be done. I think Malaya made I ran up to the cabins in the woods, which is, I don't know, 150 feet away maybe, or I don't know the exact amount of feet. And then, so I ran up there when Malaya was on the dispatch call at 10:01. And I came down the hill behind Mom's RV, and I was screaming Lily and Jack, right? And that's what got Mom up out of bed, was she heard me yelling. And because when I scream, I can scream extremely loud.
When did Daniel...
So, and there was no reason not to scream as loud as you can. Like, my throat literally hurt for, the first few days of the search because I was just screaming so much.
Hold on 1 second.
And so that's what triggered Mom to get up, was she heard me screaming at the top of my lungs for Lily and Jack. Malaya was still standing in the same spot on the dispatch call. And so I ran by Malaya, I ran at the house. I said, I'm going to go jump in the car and
1 second.
Go get the keys. I got the keys, ran in the house, got the keys, tried to go out through the front door. And I seen that.
I'm looking for, because Daniel did 2 interviews. Is this one? Let me see if this is one. He does as well. He does 2 interviews. Take 2, a new day that could have happened. When does... Okay, there's that one. And then there's that one. There's the one with Sunny. Let me try it like this. Jack and Lily, Daniel answers live chat questions. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I think it's this one right here. Let's try this one. Where does Daniel talk about last memory he has of Jack and Lily? Listen to this. Okay, here we go. This one's it. Listen to this, guys.
Daniel, do you remember, and not just the last thing that Jack had said to you, what is the last memory you have of Jack and like interactions with Jack? What was that like?
Right, the last time you've seen Jack, the last interaction. Listen to this. You got it, woman fish. Good job.
Like what is your most, I guess, recent, whatever, your last memory of Jack before he went to bed on Thursday, I guess?
The last memory I have is, taking them out of the vehicle, and I usually, would walk the kids down to the house.
The last memory he has of Jack is taking him out of the vehicle. That shouldn't be the last memory. It just should not be the last memory. Taking him out of the vehicle. Yeah, that's the time. He says that's allowed me last seen him, right? But he said, what's the last memory you have? And I'm like, oh, you taking him out of the vehicle, all right. Listen.
Like interact. What is the last memory you have of Jack and like interactions with Jack? What was that like? Like what is your most, I guess, recent, whatever, your last memory of Jack before he went to bed on Thursday, I guess?
The last memory I have is, taking them out of the vehicle, and I usually, would walk the kids.
Now, listen. He says taking them out of the vehicle. Taking them out of the vehicle. But you didn't, did you take them out of the vehicle when you got home at like 3:50 or 4 o'clock that afternoon? Yeah. Listen.
What is your most, I guess, recent, whatever, your last memory of Jack before he went to bed on Thursday, I guess?
The last memory I have is, taking them out of the vehicle, and I usually, would walk the kids down to the house. Usually when I grab like the groceries or grab the, stuff we bought at the stores, and I would take them down the house, and that's the last memory I have of Jack. I do believe that I can best recall after a year was just taking them down to the house. Well, for Jack anyway.
For Jack anyway, he says. See, I think my opinion, and this is all speculation, I want to say, but I think he did flip the light on at midnight, and he took them out of the house, and he put them in the car.
Yeah. Thank you. So Daniel, no one seems to know about the 2 t-shirts that were found on the New Glasgow Road, one pink and one blue, or am I losing my mind? So Shy, I do know about the pink one. It was like, from what I could tell, the picture was taken on May 2nd. It had already been, the pink shirt that was found was already sun bleached. It looked to me to be too big for Lily, but I didn't know about the blue one. Do you know anything about these?
Where were they found at? New Glasgow? No, I don't know anything about shirts found in New Glasgow. That's like 25 kilometers from the house.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny how he says, I usually take them down to the house, end quote, but not that he actually did that. Usually stuff he bought at stores, all vague. Can kind of sound like someone trying to convince, but don't know, could also be wording he uses a lot. He does that because, you say, you want to convince.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that either, Shy. So why did you turn the lights on Jack and Lily's room at midnight? Was that common for you, or?
Yeah, I usually did that.
He did. Wait, DM, I thought Malaya asked you if you should call, if she should call 911, and you said yes, the kids are missing. But also, you remember what he said in another interview about that, right? He said, just wait 1 second. Hold on, let me see if I got that. 1 second here. 1 second. One second, let me see if he says it right here. There's not mention of the kids. The video does not provide details about the guardian or whether there was delay in reporting children. The interview focuses primarily on the stepfather's experience with the police investigating in particular. in the polygraph test. That's not it. In one of the interviews, he says, maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Let me see if it's right here. Okay. Give me a second. Interview. He says it in one of these right here. Do y'all remember which interview he says, I told Malia, just wait 1 second. Mine does too. My blood pressure spikes too. I'm trying to remember which one it was. He says, just wait 1 second. Justin, can you or Plunder get the 911 dispatch calls from Malaya's in? No. Nope, it's Canada. Listen, if this case was in the United States, I would have every vehicle Daniel ever owned, everything he's ever had in his name, everything Malaya's ever had in her name, every VoIP phone number, every email, every social media, everything. But Canada is just so different. Daleen, thank you for the floating heart, babe. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Wolfie, for the finger heart. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, love. Very kind. I usually carry groceries. Does not tell me what happened on Thursday. Right. When he stutters about which vehicle you caught. Is that when it was? Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the gold coin. One second. I thought it was this one.
I don't know what you would call them. Search teams are hard to vehicle, and commander of operations would be home from school that day.
It comes in around what time?
Me and Malaya and mom and some of the people involved, and just trying to relay information, keep us up to date and stuff like that.
And this pink blanket that they
where they were found, I was just told that are any of these items Lily and Jack's. We found them during the search.
Were they photographed together?
No, they were not photographed. They were photographed individually.
Okay, so most likely then they were not found together.
Yeah.
And around what time was this blanket, the full one that didn't belong to them? When was that one found?
That was found, it would have been during the daytime. So, because I remember I was actually standing on the front deck when she brought her phone up to show me. So that would have been.
Thank you, Pam.
Sometime during the day. So I'm saying between noon and 4 p.m.
The blanket, correct?
School bus goes up there around, and it actually goes up and makes its way.
And this bus has cameras.
Look, and multiple buses.
Wow.
Take a look. Road.
Okay.
Lantern that pit dirt road. Yeah. I'm not sure the actual. I need woods for a lot of that, Daniel. So I don't. Clear time that I could say the setup.
And how were you notified about the pink blanket that belonged to Lily?
The pink blanket that belonged to Lily, I wasn't notified at all about that.
He wasn't notified at all about that. Yeah, right. Maybe let me check where mine's at. 846. Let me look at this.
I don't know what you would call them. Search teams or different units or at the house.
So you weren't allowed to go into the woods.
And we were wondering why we couldn't go back. The guy in he was there, so and then I immediately jumped behind.
Heard a scream, and you thought it sounded.
Still hurt. I thought I heard a scream, but you have to remember, I had a helicopter right above me.
1 second, 8:46.
The pink blanket that belonged to Lily, I wasn't found. Clearly, there was somebody who went into the garbage, or something went on with the garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because usually, when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
That's interesting. Now, the pink blanket, when they told you about it, did they show you a picture?
The piece of the blanket? No.
Oh, okay,
no.
So they just told you they found a piece, and you went to the garbage bin. And where in the garbage bin was the bag that had the other part of the blanket? Was it towards the top, in the middle, the bottom?
These were like large industrial-sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And Mom would always yell at me, don't put so much garbage in one bag. So I had them inside, right? People wanted to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it, and pulled something out. But it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't.
I think he almost convinces himself now. I really do. I think when he is high, I think it's the only time he finds relief in his mind. And I think he almost tries to convince himself now.
Pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything like that.
Or on top of like all
60-pound garbage bag.
Was
that one?
And you're right. It's this
there
interview
was
where he says
nothing else
just 1
piled on
second.
top of it or on a pink bag.
And the doc was.
I have no idea.
Leia did.
I'm not sure if she did or not. I have no idea. Because I actually wasn't present at the house very much during the search, because I was just out in the woods searching, man.
Understood.
Like I poured my heart and soul into just searching as hard as I could.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Of avoiding law enforcement.
And you're out there searching. Did you find out that night, or was it the next day, about the boot prints?
I actually found out, I think it was the next day. And then when I asked investigators when the boot print was found, they told me they weren't sure on the exact time it was found, but they thought it was found during the middle of the night.
Okay. And I know, and I made a mistake, guys, and I want to premise this was my mistake. I had indicated that this image here was a Daniel Sandler 5
maritime happenings.
I'm looking for something specific. And
the mom and my brother came home on the ATV from the search, from where they were searching, to talk to Malaya, see what this photo was about. But it was actually Maritime Happening, which originally posted it, and that came from one of the searchers, I guess.
Understood. So it wasn't really
something
that you saw from the investigators or from the search.
No, it wasn't anything like that.
Did they ever tell you that there was 3 prints?
I don't actually remember that, but that picture always just bugged me. And then even if they did tell me there was 3 prints, like, that doesn't make sense to me, Daniel.
Yeah,
sure it does.
I mean, when 2 kids are missing, they don't gain a follower to go missing with.
You're right, but they're planted.
And here,
it
just
does.
to kind of show everybody, this is where the image came from. This is Malaya Brooks, and this was at 10:16 in the morning on May 3rd from Malaya to your mom. Your mom sent me this photo so that we can see
May 3rd.
This is where that message came from. It's near the blanket was found.
And again, someone said this vehicle come in.
I don't know. I'll look at it. Look at Malaya here, guys. This is Malaya when she was a kid.
Hi, I'm Malaya. Maybe you'd like to know more about it. You wouldn't want to step in my shoes, so just don't put up with what I go through. It's not the best life, but it's pretty darn good because I got a roof over my head, and I got clothes, and I got fed well, so I'm fine, perfectly fine. Everything's all right. And also, one last thing. I love listening to music. And that's basically it. I'm actually pretty boring most of the time. My friends call me boring, but you know, we're like buddies. We're like, oh well. I hate huge prep groups. I hate preps, totally. No offense to you guys, but who are preps, but I do not like preps that much.
You wouldn't have liked me.
I like staying in small groups. Like small groups.
Wouldn't have liked me in school.
In a corner, basically, ish. And I'm not really huge and big and popular. Like, you know, you call them people popular. I'm just basically in small groups. And that's basically it. So, I hope you guys are, like, having a great day. Bye.
Lily and Jack Sullivan are siblings who vanished.
I don't know, guys. It's crazy. Crazy. I've been here almost 4 hours. I cannot believe that. So I'm going to end it here, I suppose. It's 11:11. MBM. Yeah, I'll look. I'll find where he says, because he's like, in his text messages that I have of Daniel, he's talking about, he says, Malaya says, well, should I call 911? And he's like, well, yeah, it's your kid and miss, you know, of course, what the hell expect? And then in this one interview, he says, you know, Malaya says, should I call 911? And he says, just hold on 1 second. I'm going to check up here. So there's that. Thank you, Farm Gal. Appreciate you. So you were sent a picture of it on your phone and said it was not Lily's. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many. It's like I said, the only two people that I have, every case that you cover, they all have overlapping, especially in missing kids. They all have overlapping things. There's nothing new under the sun, as I say. But I've never covered, what is unique about this case is I've never covered someone that just boldly lies over and over and just complete contrasting things. I think Daniel and Stacy Wandra are the two biggest, boldest liars that I've ever covered. Most parents, you know, when there's suspicious things or going on or whatever, they will not answer the question, or, you know, they'll say something a little slightly varying, but they won't just completely say something completely opposite that they've already said. Right? Now, when it comes to Stacy is, you know, he's not, in my opinion, like, Stacy's not all there. Like, he is, but he's not. Like, he's had, you know, he has fetal alcohol syndrome and some, you know, he was adopted and he's got some behavioral issues and stuff. Daniel is just a fucking kook. Thank you, Deborah. All right, guys, the facts should lead the theory, not the theory lead the facts. Correct. Yes. All the mods are so great here. They are, Miss Belinda. They are. They're amazing. My mods are. And so are each of you guys. So, yes, thank you, Cindy. Please hype this video after the live stream. Tomorrow, we will probably be talking about Nancy Guthrie tomorrow, and maybe a new case We're going to try to do 2 lives tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see. But we'll definitely be covering Nancy Guthrie tomorrow because there's some things rolling out. Are you okay, Miss Belinda? Is everyone okay? Yeah, Janie is pissed that MBM called 911. Are you okay, Miss Joyous? Mr. Joyous, okay? How do you hype after the live stream? I don't know if it'll be immediately, but you can comment down below as well after the live stream. There'll be a comment section that is algorithm fuel as well. And it's just in that little, like the comment section, there'll be like 3 dots where you can see the live chat replay, where you can comment, and then there'll be like, it'll say like a little dot or something right there. It'll say hype, and you'll have some numbers. Might be, depends how much points YouTube will allow you to have. And you just say hype. Okay. Someone said big hugs, and I was just making sure you guys were okay. So, all right, guys. Much love, everyone. Appreciate you all. Justice for little Jack and Lily. It's been way too long. Way too long. Just swipe the chat box. Yeah. That's the easiest way of saying it, Deborah. Exactly. Thank you, guys. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you guys up in Canada for staying awake with me. I know it's late there. It's past midnight in some places in Canada, especially guys in Nova Scotia. Is that how you say? Is that how the Nova Scotians say it? Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. All right, guys. Good night, everyone. God bless you all. Take good care of yourselves. You only get so many trips around the sun. Love you guys.